Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Trigger Mike in the building. What's going on? It's Friday. I'm back. Been off. Not really off, but off the show. Had surgery on Tuesday. That went well. Quick little hand surgery. Then I had a hectic work week. Shoot, I was working right after the surgery. I woke up, told my wife to come pick me up. Yeah, they had to do my surgery all the way in Bryan, Texas. That's over there by Texas A&M, for those of y'all that know. And she had to drive me all the way back to the crib. So, yeah, I spent the night out there. Wasn't nobody driving an hour and a half at 3 o'clock in the morning to check into a surgery at 5:30. No, thank you. So I just spent the night out there. But, yep, right back to it like you never left. Hand swelling finally went down. All right. Woo. This thing was still right here on the finger area, kind of fat. Look at both hands. Well, damn, this hand fat too. But yeah, swelling is coming down. So back in action. All right, welcome, man. It's Friday. Show your support to the Trigger Mike Show. It is Friday. Greetings and thanks to everybody, all of our viewers nationwide and international. Thank you for coming. Oh, man, it's glad to be back with y'all. Such a hectic work week. I got so much going on. Got an internal audit next week. I might not even be on next week. But if y'all know anybody, I am trying to recruit some interns. Anybody that wants to try their hand at this podcasting thing, okay? Hit me up on IG. Let me know. I'm already looking at some people. I might have them host a show. If you want to, promote your platform, learn how to do this thing, I'm looking for good people who can keep a conversation going, right? So I know some of y'all can start shit. That's not what I'm asking for. Some of y'all can start shit. I can start some crap. I can start some mess up here, but we want to have good, substantive conversation as we tend to do on the Trigger Mike Show. I'm very proud of the work we do here, okay? We got people that come up and we talk. We get a rise out of people in the chat, but it is civil and necessary discourse, if you ask me. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I got my own emoji. Put my emoji in the chat if you agree, all right? So use that emoji for all the Green Gang members. Please purchase a membership if you have not already. On your way into the video right now, if you have not, we got 67 people watching and only 27 likes. That is atrocious. I need 50 likes right now. Get those likes up. I need to see that like count all the way up. All right. So make sure you support the show, man. Support the show. Drop a like. It's free. Drop a like. It is free. All right. Appreciate that. All right. So, yeah, subscribe to the Lapeef Network if you have not. We are on our way to 100,000. Whatever hold they had on the network, I'm sure is off now. I see the subscriber count growing. All right. So no promo either. It just grows. It's organic. Those are the best fans to have. I watch it reflected in the numbers. All right. Organic fans over here at the Lapeef Network keep the show going. Y'all are loyal fans, loyal supporters, and we appreciate each and everything that you do and your loyal patronage to the Lapeef Network. It is much appreciated. If you can, share this out. It is Friday. I know some people want to get in on this conversation. Those of you that have been in the YouTube verse this week already know where I'm coming from with this. You already know where I'm coming from with this. So if you know somebody that wants to partake in the discussion, invite them on over. Go to that little button underneath the video. It'll say share. I'm Droid Gang, okay? I'm Samsung Galaxy Gang. I have no idea what it says on y'all iPhones, but hit that share button. Share this out to Facebook newsfeed, your Facebook groups, your Instagram chat, your Instagram story, so you can let people know what you're watching if they want to partake in this discussion. Because obviously we use the word gender, so men and women, as with pretty much every discussion on the Trigger Mike show. This topic was made for you, and I want you to partake. Shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley. Shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley. 30% off along with a free gift. The link is in the description down below. Uncomplicated skincare for men. It is payday, so those of you that need to re-up, you may do so now. Go ahead and get you that Tej pack, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. And also support the show. My man Fatty up in here early. What's going on, brother? Supporting Trigger Michael. Yo, this is funny. Because he has an emoji and a broken hand. It's not a broke hand. I had a cyst removed from my hand. All right, a rather large one. Yeah, it was kind of disgusting. I let my kids see the stitches and stuff so they can see what they're going to be doing when they grow up. One of them, I would prefer one of them be like an orthopedic surgeon. All right. I would prefer that because my kids got to do surgery. They got to do surgery. By the time we're older, nurses are going to be doing what general medicine doctors do, what internists do, and the primary care physicians do. That is what nurses are going to be doing. Y'all might not see it now, but nurse practitioners are going to take over primary care. So if you're going to be a doctor, you're going to have to specialize. Dermatology, surgery, orthopedic surgery, reconstructive surgery, etc. So my kids are going to be surgeons. I want my son to be a medical engineer. Those are the people that work on the machines. They can do everything a doctor does, but they are more focused on the machines. They got a program. I look this stuff up quite often. They got a program at Baylor College of Medicine and UT for that. It's a MD engineering degree. This is what I do in my spare time. Can't you tell? But anyway, appreciate my brother Fatty for that. I think that's euro. 20 euro super chat. Appreciate that, brother. Come up on the panel if you got time. Chat with your boy, because you've been a part of the fuckery all week too. My man, only facts and stats. Always dropping facts when he's here. Praying for a speedy recovery. Thank you. Thank you. It's going quite well. Like I said, the swelling is going down. Damn, no, every time I say that and I feel it, it's still swollen, but it's going down day by day. Just a little outpatient surgery. Didn't even take an hour. All right. So make sure y'all support the show. Thank y'all for these super chats coming in bright and early. It is payday. I know some of y'all have gotten paid and you have not supported the Trigger Mike show in a few weeks. Please show your love. Shoot, I'm hurt. Do I got to beg for sympathy? Do I got to show you my war wounds out here? I'm hurt. Yeah, I took off the little splint thing because it was hot as hell. But this is the bandage on top of the one that's on the stitches. Allows me to type better because I've been working all morning. All right, but yes. Who we got in the chat? Let me shout out my people. Jill's Chocolate Boutique, always in the building. Quincy, what's going on, my man? Jordan, gang in the building. Wait a minute. Happy Friday to you. How you doing? MS Best, always out here. Richarda, is that how you say your name? Well, hey to you too. Welcome. It is Friday. You just reminded me. Damn. My cousin coming in town. So we might have to. I might be on the streets tonight. Broke hand and all. Kuma, what's going on? Says gender wars, like most wars, are profitable to those that orchestrate them. Damn. With the knowledge early. That is knowledge. So the question is, who is orchestrating these wars for profit? Consumer. I mean, every consumer agency has stake in keeping the genders apart. Those are the only people that. This is why I don't like when people say the government. The government who? If you knew anything about the government, you know one entity in the government can't do a damn thing. They can't agree. They can't organize. They're the most disorganized group of people on earth. It's a small group within the government. What do they call them? Factions. It's a bunch of like-minded people within the government that got it together and using everybody else as cogs in an engine, right? That's why they call it the deep state. You don't know who they are. You just assume it's everybody in cahoots. That many people cannot agree. Have you ever seen a congressional floor, or do you watch C-SPAN? That many people cannot agree on anything. The entire government can barely get anything done. It took, you know, a whole demic out here for them to even agree on something. And they screwed up the economy doing that. All right. My man Ed Hill, what's going on? Garrett says men are built for war. Indeed we are. GBG Bear, what's going on, Chief? Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. I'm going to drop the link. My man Gilded Quan, where you been at, bro? What's going on? I'm going to drop the link so we could talk about this, but I only got a few points that I want to make. All right, on this. So it's been an interesting week. I only jumped up on a few panels, and I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have jumped up on the panels I was on because I was heavily medicated. You know, they cut into your skin. They're going to give you antibiotics and narcotic to help you with the pain. So yeah, I jumped up on some of these panels, sitting down, trying to do some work. Boy, I was floating over here. So I shouldn't even have jumped on some of the panels I was on, but it's been an interesting week nonetheless. So I guess this all started. I guess I was late to the party or whatever. This all started when Venus did a show talking about something about black men. For those of y'all that saw it, let me know. Help us out with the dialogue and a little bit of context in the chat. So Venus did a show talking about Black Taylor. Talking about black men, and B. Taylor was on it. So I think it was her and B. Taylor. That was one of the episodes that I saw, and I had to go back and watch some of the things they were saying and some of the dialogue there. So if you saw that show, give us some of the context about what they were talking about. Because yeah, I was definitely on one when I was watching it. But then I think the next day or later in the day, my man Aaron O did a show about Venus's show. And I was like, oh shit, what's going on here? So it's been an interesting week just watching people go back and forth. And then yesterday, Raw B did a show saying that black men are better fathers than they are husbands. I was like, oh shit. It's been a week of bold statements back and forth. And as somebody who was just watching from the outside, I developed this title for this particular broadcast last night. It is 110% obvious that the gender war is still on. I was wrong. I was mistaken. You might even heard me say some months and maybe even a year ago, the gender war is over and men won. I'm going to amend my previous position. I thought at some point that the gender war was over. I did. But I just recently realized I did not understand the complexity of the situation. I'm just now starting to understand the complexity of what's going on here. All right. I didn't understand the complexity of what the exact. I was looking at it too literally, because women can't actually win any kind of war. against men in general, right? So I'm looking at it like, hey, any war women fight, they'll lose. So that was my thought process at the time. But watching what was going on this week, it allowed me to kind of watch and look at no matter how much I interact with folks and we try to impart knowledge, people have deep-seated issues. The men with the women with the men. And I got a question for y'all in the chat. Because it's not just one war going on. It's not. How many battles do you think are currently being fought in the ongoing gender war between modern men and modern women? I want you to share your thoughts. That's my question. God damn, how do I mute these people at work? They just won't stop. In fact, let me close this Teams chat. All right. How many battles do you think are currently being fought in the ongoing gender war between modern men and modern women? Let me tell you what I mean by that. It's modern men versus modern women. That's one. Traditional men versus simps. That's an intergender war. Traditional men versus modern men. That's another one. That's another intergender war. There's modern women versus the quote unquote patriarchal system. That's another one. So if you see where I'm going with this, put your vote of what you think is going on in the chat. I'm noticing now that this is a far more complex problem than I gave it credit for. The gender war continues. Everybody's got something to say. It's everybody else's fault. Nobody wants to take accountability. And so many people are fighting so many battles on so many different fronts that we have no resolution for this. We have no idea the complexity of the situation we got going on right now, bro. I said modern men versus modern women, traditional men versus simps, traditional men versus modern men, modern women versus the patriarchal system. GBG says we got thousands of battles. Man, we got baby daddies versus baby mamas. Modern husbands versus traditional husband. We got a lot of shit going on. We got Winnie versus Kiki. I'm joking about that one. Bring my man Gil DeQuan up. What's going on, bro?
What's good, Mo?
Hey, I'm chilling, man. What are your opening thoughts, man? So I gave a little bit of context, but as you can see, or if you've been in these streets, the gender war is still going on, bro. So what are your thoughts about that and what I've said so far?
You know, man, Trigger Mike, I just watch from the skies for real. Like sometimes I might hop on a panel, sometimes I don't. But like what I notice a lot is that it's too many contradictions on both sides. And pretty much all people do is just point out the contradictions. Like you could go on TikTok right now and you can see anywhere from 5 different influencers saying 5 different things that contradict themselves all in that whole timeline. And it's like people they don't know what they want. Like, for example, you'll have like a woman, she'll claim feminism, but then she'll diss you as a man for not holding up patriarchal standards. So if the goal of feminism is to dismantle patriarchy, why are you shaming a man that doesn't make a certain amount of money? That just doesn't make sense.
I feel you.
So it's like everybody's just making contradictory statements. Like on the men's side, it's F all of these blah, 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 blah women. But then at the same time, if you're not smashing them, you know what I mean? You lame. So it's constant contradictions on both sides, and nothing ever really gets accomplished because everybody's just working against their best interests. In my opinion, how I see it.
All right. No, I agree with that. So man, on one broadcast, you just like you said, you will see, depending on the topic, a bunch of different contradictions. A bunch of different contradictions from the same person. And that is probably one of the reasons, the key reasons why the war is never going to be won by one particular side, because they talk out of both sides of their neck, and everybody they don't have a square they stand on for real. Their opinion changes depending on who they're on a panel with. So I've seen that just as you've seen it.
Yeah, and they
All
both
right.
shoot each other. They both shoot themselves in the foot, in a
Yep.
sense.
All right, Mr. Payne, what's going
Hey
on?
man, welcome back, Mike.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, man. You know, like you asked the question, the war is on every front, just like you said. But you got to think about it a little differently. I mean, we call it a war, and then when you say it's a war, that means you got to have sides, okay? And the truth of the matter is, the world has gotten a little bit more complicated than and I think being married for such a long time, you know, I think the real solution is that two people who want to get together, a lot of the shit that divides us won't matter. Do you understand? Well, most
Yep.
of us, if you're gonna dig in as a single man or dig in as a single woman, whether you're modern or traditional, you could find anything to fight over. You can find anything to fight over. It's a decision that everybody has to make, that they want to cleave to a person and build something. And once you do that, a lot of the shit that we argue about will fall to the wayside. You know, if you're a religious person, you know, and you cleave to your religious beliefs, then what gender war? Because there's already a pecking order of how we're supposed to live our lives if you're really a religious person. So I think the war will never end because we'll never stop having things that divide us if we make that the main thing. So, and here's another thing I think men need to understand, and we don't like to hear this shit, but women are in absolute control of the sexual marketplace in terms of sex. They are in absolute control. Men think that we have some say because I can bed a whole bunch of women. That's only because all of those women consented to have sex with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or else it's a crime. So the bottom line is that and when we say men in control of access to marriage, that's still true. Aaron had a show about that too. We argued back and forth. But how many men actually want to get married anymore? You know, so the whole marketplace is at the behest of women who have really modernized themselves to be free with their sex. And men just fall in line. And my example is this, and this is why the war can never be won, because a woman could always woo men for sex. That's why simps are so prevalent. And actually, that's why simps are the army for all the modern women.
Mm.
There's so many more simps than guys who are not simps. The women will never run out of men who are going to come in just at the chance of getting laid.
Yep.
Right. So that whole thing has everybody in a tizzy. I mean, it sounds like it's off kilter, but a woman's sex is their weapon, and that weapon is powerful, and it permeates almost everything they do. Right. So, and if you really get down to brass tacks, what kind of mother they're going to be, what kind of wife they're going to be, you know, how they move in the marketplace. When they start saying that's dumb shit, I'm independent and all that, well, they're independent from a man that might be their husband, but what's they're really independent? Their independence means they can do what the hell they want to do when they want to do it. Right? And what does that really mean in the marketplace if they're single? That means they can sleep with anybody they want to, if they choose to. Right. And that's why they don't care about, they say, don't talk about my body count, even though it's destroying them the higher that body count goes. So the men, on the other hand, have their own problems. Right. We're so, I'm going to land on this. We're so beat down by the system that we're afraid to do things with women now. You can't get on the elevator with them. or else they might say you touched them. You can't marry them because they love you today, and 5 years from now they want all your assets, right? They got Kevin Costner is one of the richest men out there, and they're getting ready to kick his ass, right? A lady wants $250,000 in child support to get around the prenup.
She got one. She got the 126.
She got 125.
Woo!
A month for child support. You know, so anyway, I mean, we'll never get over this thing. It's about two people making a decision. I'll land it there. We'll chop it up. I see E-Man here. We're gonna get out. This is gonna be good, you know, because Mr. Sip is on, you know.
Oh man,
don't do my man E-Man like that.
He knows it's on his pussy.
You know he gonna want to respond, but we gotta do it.
Yeah, you gotta wait his turn.
Hold that thought.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I don't even got to guess if it's hot. E-Man sweating like.
You can't be married and a simp.
No, he's sipping for all the other women. That is right.
Nah, I was about to say you could be a simp in your own crib, bro.
That's right. But I don't say he's.
We don't let it ooze out into the public.
He's gonna get me back, so don't worry about it.
In fact, I think being a married man gives you license to be hard on women.
It should.
It should. But my man John the Baptist, what's going on, bro?
What up, peeps? How y'all doing today?
All right.
Oh, we chilling, bro.
I got a lot of rain in the background. It's coming down hard. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I got a lot of rain in the background.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, there is no gender war. If you understand the nature of war, or how to access or determine what an enemy is, or enemy strengths, or I don't see how there's a gender war, because there's no right that a woman has that a man hasn't given to her. There's no right that a woman has that she can't protect on her own. She only has what she has because the male gender has given it to her. At any point in time, when I realize physically or spiritually, she can't compete with me. Spiritually, dominance, God put dominance in my hand. Physically, dominance is still in my hand. So we don't understanding how the nature of life works. I don't fight down. She may fight up, but that's on her. But my job is, what I recognize as a man is that she can't outpower me physically, and she can't outpower God spiritually. And so what we're doing now is, what we're in these conversations, what we're saying to women is we're giving them false sense of power that they actually having a war with us. And giving them a false sense of power, we're actually making ourselves weak in this conversation. You're actually negotiating with your kids. Not calling a woman a kid, I'm just using your parallel. You're negotiating with your subordinate who has no power or authority over you. And so when you're fighting and warring against someone who can't physically compete with you and can't spiritually compete with you. So why do we spend our time fighting against women who don't have the time or the energy or the physical strength to fight with us? It's not a war. Change the way we look at it.
So I agree with you in principle. But isn't it possible that the people who can fight with us are other men, and they're using women to do that?
Two men can go to war, correct? But a man and a woman can't go to war. Well, they can. Excuse me, they can. But what if? But only way a woman can defeat a man, she can't. The man has to give up his strength, and the man has to give up his strength.
I was gonna say
they do it every day.
Can they use
for the
men
box.
to?
Say what?
Hey, Fatty, come up real quick, because you're somebody that, just real quick, you're somebody. All right, bet. Somebody will definitely try to come up here as Fatty.
Can women use men to fight the war for them?
Absolutely.
They do.
Well, okay, but then at that point, like I said, a man can fight a man, but a woman cannot fight a man. So what you're talking about is a man on man war, not a two sexes war, not between a man and a woman, because a woman can't fight a man.
It is a war by proxy. We talk about the war in Ukraine, right?
Yes, that's what I was talking
Ukraine is not fighting Russia. Russia is fighting the United States,
about.
and
Absolutely.
we are
And
like everybody's using Ukraine as a battlegrounds. And the thing is, and again, Trigger Mike is aware, and probably Quan. Like if you follow like this space on the last few weeks, he became very apparent that this is not a man against woman. This is against man against other man. Some men want to stop treating women like children and starts to actually look at them as grown-ups that they have their own mind, their own faults, their own actually accolades. Another men are literally stripping them from every type of agency they have so they can either look better to get more women or to actually uh, fight their battles for them because for some reason didn't feel indebted to them. It seems like when you were talking about the white guilt thing, where white people go on the streets to fight for black issues. Some men, I don't know if he's a woman guilt, I don't know if he's a masculine guilt, but most of these giant wars that we get between each other, if you look at it, even if he's Kiki Palmer or whatever it is, these men against other men. It's not men against women because we let women skate with a lot of nonsense. What actually literally grinds our gears and make us go to like war mode is when men actually take a side that is not the side of the truth, the side of justice, the side of fairness. Is the side of if a woman does it, it's kind of fine. If the man does it, it's not okay. So
so just to make sure I understand you correct. So what you're saying is that it's really Ali versus Mr. Let Go out here. That's what you're talking about.
But he's not even Mr. Let Go. Yesterday I made a comment, and actually I kind of find it funny nobody pressed him on it. He calls women children, but he coached women. But women never graduate. Those children never graduate to be adults. So what the fuck are you teaching? It's amazing. Like you call them children and you say you coach them. So if you coach them, shouldn't be the goal for them to mature and to become adults. So now we can actually look at them as accountable adults. No, it's a perpetual cycle. You are going to school. You're not going to get no degree. You're not going to graduate. It's just one more step for I'm working on myself, bitch. Sorry, Mike. You are 47. You are
Hey, Fatty out here.
47.
Tell them how you feel.
Yeah, no, but that
Fatty out
you are
here.
47. Like what more? Like don't like what do you have to learn about being an adult? Just do whatever you want to do. Just to take accountability for it. And if you do, we are okay with it as long as you actually tell us the truth. Other than that, you're good to go. Do whatever you want to do.
No, I thought that was bars. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like how you call them children, but you teach a program they don't graduate for. I thought that was bars, bro. All right,
Facts.
But nah, you know what I noticed too, Trigger Mike?
yeah.
The biggest ones that we call the simps, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a lot of these dudes that got daughters, and they realizing that these daughters is getting older, and they about to go out here in these streets,
Yep.
and these daughters is about to meet their fathers out there, and their fathers not keeping it real about what they was out there in the streets. So they simping out here because now they daughter got to go out there and meet the fathers because the fathers wasn't being straight up with them. And that's what you're seeing a lot of too. Like when you go back to that Dr. Umar joint, he did all of that because he said in the beginning, I got daughters. And they most likely will be caught up in not being able to get the man they want. So when you look at it and really peep it, it's the dudes that got the daughters that's doing the most simping.
No,
don't
that's
agree with that.
100% facts. And the worst part about it is
I
that
agree
so
with that.
those, if I had to choose somebody to press, that's who I'm pressing, because they aren't brave enough, they aren't aware enough to know that if you want success for your daughter, you got to tell her the truth, and literally you got to hurt her with the truth. It is literally like what my man's saying. It's father simp out here doing the most damage, right? So that's facts. Let's get Ashton in on this. Opening thoughts, bro.
Think about
How
it's
you
not
doing?
even.
I'm from your surgery, Trigger Mike.
Oh, appreciate it.
But yeah, to piggyback off what everybody said, I kind of agree. It's not a gender war. It's hardworking men versus the simp, but the simp led the the women in the fight where they made the women step up and the women took the bait. So it turned into a gender war. And us men, us hardworking men, we
Can't
down
be both.
by 25. You can lead a crash test dummy into the, but us men, we down by 25 at the first half. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Indeed.
Well,
E-Man, go ahead.
yeah. Well, that first of all is crazy. First of all, that even Mr. Lame, I mean Mr. Payne, will even call me a simp.
Damn.
Oh,
Crazy, man.
The smoke coming.
The difference between what I'm saying is that typically what I say is typically for the best movement of the family. I speak for the family. I'm not speaking for men or women, and a lot of people don't like that. Like it doesn't make sense for a woman to submit to her boyfriend, but according to these people who so manly say you're supposed to submit to me regardless. And what it really comes down to, it's not really a gender war, I believe. I believe it is the marriage way of doing it.
That's the Lord working.
Damn, I'm like,
Those things out and we put those things in perspective, then we consider a simp because we're not agreeing with what the men are saying. And that is totally different. You know, what we did do, we talk about, quote unquote, what y'all guys talk about, fixing the community. We have to have families. And guess what? If you a baby daddy, you're not part of the family. Families is husbands and wife and child. And we need to start doing what's best for the family because that's really what's going to impact the kids in the next generation.
See how God works.
all right, Nightish, go ahead, man. Opening thoughts. The gender war continues. What do you got to say about that?
I would say that it is a gender war, and it can only be about the leaders and the so-called alphas, because how do the simps and the baby daddies even come into play? They gave up, right? They not even in the game. So it's about the men that step up and marry them women and the so-called leaders, right? Which I don't even think is leaders. They just saying stuff. So as much as I love Fatty, he's just a mush mouth foreigner that say a bunch of shit, and let Ilkon talk for his damn self. And Mr. Lego say these women is children and all that other shit. Let him talk for himself. And fuck our pain.
Okay.
Hold
on, Nice. I think Fatty be on point. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Fatty be on point most of this.
Not just kidding. Let me just say one thing, Mike, before you go, right?
Yeah.
Because this is the dishonesty that we're talking about. There are a lot of married men that are simps. There are a lot of men that have nuclear families in their home, and they are the biggest enablers of their daughters. You are a princess. You can do no wrong. Like, we have to be honest. Like, men are men and women are women. I don't care if they're married, if they're baby mama, if they are single. Like, listen to what we are saying. We literally, as soon as we started to talk about this shit, some man started to attack another man, and now we are going to fight this man, and women are going to be looking from the penthouse. Look at those silly rabbits fighting for us when we are pulling the strings, and nobody does it. Like, that's the reality.
And wait, Fatty, what I'm saying is this: some of them women is better men than you motherfuckers are.
No, it's fair. They absolutely are. But like Cece made the comment. Cece made the comment on the chat, and I'm going to actually personify this with this shit. Cersei on Game of Thrones, she was not the king. She is the wife of the king, the brother of the hand, whatever. She was a side character technically, but she didn't need to be the king to rule that fucking shit. She just let the people fight for her. She used her brother as a weapon. She used her son as a weapon. And she maintained herself hidden from all the danger, because instead of actually putting a face on it, she would put ideas on them, and they will go to battle. They will kill 1,000, and she would be ruling. But nobody will know that she's there. That woman now in 2023. And unfortunately, some motherfuckers don't know they are Joffrey. Some motherfuckers, they don't know. They don't know who they are. They think they are winning. They think they are ruling. They think they are the leaders. but unfortunately, they are doing the bidding for other woman that is using them to fight proxy wars. Go ahead.
I can
Yeah, our
respect that.
pain
But
show
listen,
do that.
wait. I can respect that, but they got Joffrey to fuck up out of here, and a lot of these dudes send their wife to the fucking door and let them deal with men. So all these men are not leaders.
This is true. And I also think people gotta, like, men, as men, we gotta get back to staying in our lane. Like, certain things you're not supposed to be able to just comment on unless you actively participate in it. Like, I'm single, so I'm not going to talk on either man marriage or marriage period because I'm not there. So I don't have valid information to give on marriages. But when you got people that's single that want to make comments on marriages, women pick up on that stuff and they don't differentiate, well, he ain't married or he's married. It's just a man talking about marriage. So it's like, for me, we got to get back to, if you're not participating in it personally, then you could give your opinion, but it shouldn't be valid. It shouldn't be taken in stone. It should be taken with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, Quan. If you're
No,
a
let
man,
either man go. Arpan, you
hold
last.
on, wait a minute. This is not Fight Club. Wait a second. Listen, yo, Quan,
I think there's an offense, sir.
You made a statement.
You better watch your mouth, sir.
Come on, fatty. If you're a single man, right, and you want to be married, you got to understand what it takes. So you have to be able to start formulating an opinion. So you can get
questions.
This is why we don't listen.
How do you ask questions is formulating an opinion, right? You
But listen, that's the problem. We got so many people.
Go ahead, Eda, man.
That's the problem. There's a whole bunch of people who don't have. It's almost like I hear people keep talking about the military and never served in the military. You don't know. You might think you know. You have no idea.
I didn't finish our pain. But you mischaracterizing what I asked.
Trigger Mike, mute our pain. Go ahead, Eda, man.
So
y'all
the point that he's saying is, because it gets to a point, it's the difference between when you stating your opinion. What he's talking about is when you start giving advice. We got a whole bunch of people.
I'm not talking about giving advice, though.
Let me finish.
That's what I was talking about, though.
That's exactly what he was talking about. A whole bunch of people, they're not sharing what they think about marriage. They talking about this. And you got to understand, most of these single dudes, they are biased. They don't want women to get married because it mess up their marketplace. So they're not speaking.
Wait, what?
They're not speaking from a genuine.
What?
They're not speaking from a genuine point of view. But we know for a fact, if we was to give, we know for a fact that the best situation for kids is to be raised in the family. Like, and when I say that, they're like, "Oh, you just trying to take women's sides." No, I'm taking the child side. That's gonna put him or her in the best situation. So when we talk about this gender war, first of all, women, we can't have a gender war with someone who's not even equal with us. Like that, like it's no war between me and women. I don't even see that. But I guess in y'all guys' mind, y'all said we're warring with somebody who is less than us in some words.
But they are not. They are not less than you.
Well, they're less.
They no, you know why? You know why?
Let it go. I was about to agree with you.
It's fine because you know what? Why they are not less than you? Because they will somebody has a massive echo. Because they will press the nuclear button and they will make you bleed. You know that movie 300 when Xerxes is on the end of the movie and the guy throws a spear and that shit goes across the lake and eats him on the face and he starts bleeding and he says, "Now everybody know you can bleed." These women can make you fucking bleed, bro. Especially if you have kids with them, especially if you have a relationship with them. They are smart. They've been to school. They know how a man looks. They know how a man thinks. They know your vulnerabilities. Why do you keep underestimating somebody that actually is as smart as you and can actually make you bleed? Why do you think they're lesser than you? Explain to me, please.
I'm gonna help you out, Fatty, because I agree with you at first, and then you told me you went whole gay. Check this out.
He went whole gay, you said?
He went whole male feminist on me.
Y'all are just gonna burn all the words in the first 20 minutes of the podcast. All right. Go ahead, dirty folks.
All right, look. Number one, Fatty was right initially, not just now, but originally. that women are professional fight promoters. His whole scenario about Cersei's is getting men to do things, and she never did anything. That's 14-year-old boys leading people for their mom. That's your sister being able to come get you to fight. Women's whole power is to get the men that love them, because I don't think women can love. To get the men that love them to die for them. Your daddy, your brother, your husband. You know what I'm saying? A great day for a toddler is one dude dead, another in jail, and she was the third dude before they arranged. So I give Fatty that for the different reason than he said it. But that's influence. And influence is power. But power only comes from if you listen to him, right? The flip side of that is second point to our pain. I would never listen to a man that's been married more than 18 years. If you were married in 2008, there's nothing you can tell me about marriage. And I'm happy for your marriage, but it's a whole different dating culture out here.
Then stay diverse and be on these hoes then. You out of the game. Let's go to the next man.
What the hell?
Night is just, he must not be able to make Fight Club this evening, so he just wants to get it started now.
I'm gonna be on there too.
No. I give you a perfect example. My day one, dude I grew up with, Boy Scout age, right? Since high school, we've been cool. He's one of the only 3 black men I know that actually likes his wife. Everybody love their wife, but he actually liked his wife, and I always celebrate their marriage, right? I'm like, man, you one of the good ones. His son is 20. All the things that I say, he said, yo, Square, I see it now in my son, the girls that my son has to date. He was like, man, I got lucky. He said, but everything you say, he said, Square, I hate to say you're right, because you ain't right about me, but you right about everybody my son bring in this house. It's a different dating cycle. Thirdly, I don't think it's a gender war because girls can't fight. I think it is a war between simps and dudes. But I will say this. Every man doesn't have to be a leader. If every man was a leader, who would follow? Every man just needs to follow a set of rules, and there's no unilateral rule. Once people enforce the rule, like any other law, they'll do it, and girls will do it. I remember being in a car with a girl. I'll never forget this. This was December 31st of some year. I don't remember the year. But they just made the Bluetooth rule. It's 11:58. She goes in her armrest and pulls out a Bluetooth, put it in her ear. I say, yo, what's that for? She say, man, the rules change at midnight, and I don't want to get a ticket. Women follow rules. Men don't give rules. And if a man does give rules, she calls somebody that loves her to go delete the person who gave her a rule. So men have to hold the fort. Because girls, they gonna do chaos anyway, because they just want their way. They don't care about what's right.
All I'm saying,
hey, Dirty Folks, can I ask you a question?
Wait, Ashton. All I'm saying about this dude right here, Dirty Folks, he sound like a hippie. He kind of laissez-faire. You either lead or you don't lead. And she can call that simp suck ass bitch nigga the follower to do her bidding because don't nobody stand on nothing.
Oh, Nightis, you on timeout, bro. That was like 5 buzzwords.
Yeah. So I want to say this.
Let me get these super chats read real quick, John. Then let me get these super chats read. My man, Advanced Perception, $5 says, we are not at war with women. We are at war with the man behind the curtain who uses feminism as a WMD. That is damn straight. I think I said that. Michael Richardson, $5. Appreciate that. This is the He-Man Woman Hater Club from Little Rascals. Don't know, man. Body count who is Gen X. My man Christopher J, $2. Appreciate that. Michael Richardson again. Can divorced men make a comment about marriage? Can they? I mean, in a way, they'd have a pretty good opinion on some things.
I think they can.
If they're willing to be accountable for why their marriage ended, yeah, sure, why not? Hey, I agree with you totally. Michael Richardson, $2.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Before you go, did you notice that?
Hold on.
I know. I'm not selfish with the mic. I just wanted to make a point. Did you notice that Dirty Folks said your points are these and are great, and then he followed through with agreeing with everything I said?
No, I agree that you said the first time. I told you I can't support you, then you kept talking.
So where do you disagree?
I didn't agree because I don't really think girls are smart. I think girls do what they're allowed to do.
Wait, you don't agree that they're smart women?
I don't think girls are smart.
You don't agree that there's smart women on the world?
I believe that women have great.
We hear the whole
you're asking
road,
me a question. I'm answering. I believe that women have great memory retention, and women can follow instructions very well. I believe that women go to school for 18 years to be a teacher, and if the answer ain't in the back of the book, they'll send you to the principal office. I don't think girls are smart.
You know they made a
hold
movie
on one
about three
second. Hey, power up.
astrophysicists
Can
that
you
was
mute
women,
up? Hold
right?
on one second. Power up. Can you mute up? Because you got a lot of background
That's
noise.
crazy. Women ain't smart.
That's interesting.
Nah, so
Oh,
let
my
me
fault. My fault.
give you my synopsis on that. So I think women are smart. Where it starts to diverge, and this is my let me give you my definitions. To me, I define smart as an advanced ability to recite and retain information. Men are more intelligent because a man will challenge information. Women don't challenge, like you said, they follow rules, they don't make them. So that I will say women are smart all day because they can recall information, they can recite it to you, they'll get better grades in school that way. But when it comes to challenging the information that's out here to advance society, they don't do that.
So if this woman,
Fatty, that's 100% facts, and they know how to work together.
If these women are dumb, why are they manipulating billions of men in the role and making them do their job for them?
Men
Like
are
if they are actually listen,
because they hold the kryptonite between their legs. That's
but Mike is not the kryptonite only because again, I have friends, right? I usually go around and walk with some of my friends in the week because I'm fat and I can't run, right? And they tell me that their 3-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, they cry and they put and the dads go there and they actually do what they want them to do because since they are toddlers, they know how to actually manipulate their parents, especially daughters to their dads, daughters to their brothers, like sisters to their brothers, mothers to their sons. They do it innately. So how can a being that is dumb manipulate the smarter being? Tell me.
I'll help you out.
Go ahead.
Now you're talking about general intelligence versus emotional intelligence. Y'all play emotional games with girls, you will lose because women are all feelings.
So they're smart.
No, they're emotional.
No, women. Okay, let's stop this. Let's stop this.
If that's a form of
I've been trying to get in. Women are smart. Let's stop playing these games.
Man, most of
women
them
are
70%.
No.
Functional illiteracy. So most
women.
Mo, where are you from?
Women are smart, just like men are smart.
I don't think men are smart. I think most niggas is dumb as shit. But that wasn't the question. Y'all
Can
you listen for a second?
Please go ahead, John.
Women. So there's two things. I want to address this issue right here. Women are smart. They are intelligent creatures, and they are smart women and they're dumb women. They're smart men and they're dumb men. The one thing I always want to address, what you just said, I can't remember the guy's name at the bottom corner. He said that that people have been married for more than 18 years can't talk, and you begin to give illustrations of because about the game and women have changed. Actually, women have not changed. What you're talking about is quantity versus quality. So at one point in time, if there were, according to your argument, if there were women who had good character and good morals, the problem is now that the quantity is down, and the quality is down. The same problems have always existed. Now the problem we're having today is that you're finding less and less people with characters and morals. So the game has not changed. The game is still the same. It's spread out more now. So
hello, John. I got a question.
Absolutely.
Wait. Man, before you go, I just want to say this to John the Baptist. I think this is more about empaths, right? There are emotional empaths, there are intuitive empaths, and then there are sigma empaths. Women are more emotional empaths, and they're willing to let themselves get so emotionally tied that they will make themselves sick because they will go beyond what they need to do. So an emotional empath can't necessarily be a leader. But if you are also an emotional empath, you will do the same thing as she does. And what men don't seem to understand is that they can be emotional too. They just don't want to define what they're doing as emotion. Go ahead, E.
No, sir.
That still doesn't belie anything he said.
Hold on one second. So, John, because I'm not saying that women are not smart. compared to men. I don't think women are smarter than men. So who are you comparing women to when you say that they're smart? Because
Oh my God, get a better internet connection.
What? That's crazy.
Why are we
Why
talking
y'all know so
about
many dumb
comparing
women?
each other? Let's talk about the
I was
topic.
gonna say, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole with that one. All right, if
Yes.
you're just tuning in, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. We got an all-star panel in the building. Thank you for all your super chats so far. Please keep them coming in as we answer the next question. And any ladies want to come up, we would love to have you on the panel to hear your opinion as well, because we're talking about the gender war continues. And let me see who I can get in on this next one. Damn, I just formulated this question. Give me a second. How do women hurt themselves by participating in the gender war against men? Anybody can go.
I answer that question. I think it's really first of all a bad idea for women to participate because it starts formulating and influencing the way that they act. So if you notice that the women that are participating in the gender war, they're not really getting pursued by men because it's almost like a turnoff to men. And the women that are staying, like the women that I see that are married that stand out of this gender war, say, "Hey, that's none of my business." They're typically accomplishing the things that they want to do. So I think that's kind of a good vetting thing to see if they're part of this gender war versus if they're completely out of it from vetting purposes.
I'll say this. Everything's cool until you get hit back. So if there's a gender war, I don't think it is. Not the way that it is online. I don't think it is in the real world, except in Chicago, because these toddlers run everything. But once they decide on that, then they're ostracizing the people they depend on. Give you a perfect example. Girls can run whatever they want with any authority, but they'll always mess it up, and then they quote unquote need men to step up. So participating in, for instance, I had a poll on matter of fact, I was on somebody else's channel. I made Minister Jab do a poll. 1,000 people in the chat. I said put 1 in the chat if Akeisha in Human Resources ever hired you. Put 2 in the chat if not. All you saw was 2, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. When I go to a place like, I just left Home Depot yesterday, and I go to Home Depot and it's nothing but women, but nobody can cut carpet. Even the security guard was a lesbian chick, look burly chick. And I'm like, yo, y'all have jobs and there's people participating, and you got 12 women, 3 Mexicans, and 4 gay dudes, but nobody understands carpentry. But everybody that work that goes there is trying to be a carpenter. That's a problem. And then you turn around and say men don't take care of blah blah blah. But I'm like, yo, when you have an opportunity to bring your people in, you don't. You bring in women, which I don't have no problem with that, but that's part of the gender war, right? I'm gonna support the sisterhood, but can't none of y'all cut carpet. At the end of the day, what end up happening is guys will realize that girls not really rocking with them, and then when guys really decide that they're going to participate, because that's the thing, guys haven't participated in a gender war. When they decide they're no longer going to, a woman that can't follow one man has to follow 4 men. You understand that, right? A woman who can't take.
No, we don't understand. You a fucking hippie. Why don't you know how to cut
How the
the
hell am I
carpet that
hippie?
you want?
You in a hippie generation? Y'all was doing LSD. How am I a hippie? Anyway,
You a hippie because of the way you talk. Why don't you know how you want your carpet cut?
are you serious?
Yes, you said
No,
you went somewhere
yeah,
as the
he got
man,
you there,
as the
dirty folks.
so-called
So
leader,
I'm supposed to go
as,
on
as
Home
a
Depot
person
and
that's supposed
pull
to
out
know
their
what he
carpet
wants,
and use
and
their
that and
machine
left the
that
responsibility up
somebody's
to
supposed to cut.
everybody else.
Oh, but no, Dirty Folks, do you think you was answering the question that he asked me?
No, he was telling a story about Home Depot that was terrible and
I
irrelevant.
was using it as an example of when you have an opportunity to put a person in position
That was
in the
irrelevant.
sisterhood.
You just wanted to brag that you make Minister Jep as like a $1,000
Yeah,
or
No,
whatever.
I
bragging.
said
You
no.
know,
I
your
said
point
Irrelevant as
was
fuck.
wrong.
You just
Thank you,
wanted to brag.
faggot.
You
no.
just wanted to brag.
No.
So Trigger Mike, can you
hear
ask
that.
the question again? Hello, because maybe he didn't hear the question.
All right,
Trigger
She
Mike,
heard the question.
no, ask the question again because you asked. Well, let me ask it for you because I heard the question. He said, when women participate in this gender war, do it benefit them or does it not benefit them?
Oh, it doesn't benefit them. Not in the
Now,
long run.
Now, when I re-asked that question, you felt like your statements that you was making was answering that question.
Yep. Thought he was cooking.
No. I was giving
Thank
examples of why
you,
it does not. But
hippie.
to answer your question, no, it does not. But that's 3 steps away. Does it help them on today, Friday? Does it help them on Saturday? Maybe. Will it help them on Tuesday? No. And then on Tuesday, they'll complain about all the people that's not helping them.
So the gender war, like, this is why they benefit from the gender war, like
I was
using
just
it,
about to
right?
say that, Fatty.
And instead of doing directly using men, because for example, let me give an example that happened on my show the other day. Marcus and Thanos, that are, in my opinion, high caliber men in terms of height, in terms of money, in terms of background. We're doing a bidding for them. We're doing the bidding for them, right? And the problem that they a lot of times don't understand is that it's not that those men are lying per se or are saying something that is not true. They have the right their own opinion. Is the fact that there's like 1,000 people watching this show, and men that look up to them are saying, "Oh shit! If Thanos is 6'5" and Marcus is 6'8", and they get this amount of money and they are telling me this advice, they must be right." So now, instead of having like just 2 men that have their opinions and they have their wives and their families doing these men are the leaders, is always the man's fault, all that, you have underachiever Johnny, average man Johnny, actually doing exactly the same thing for woman, and every time she cheats on him, every time she does something bad on him or tricks him, oh, it's my fault because Marcus and Thanos, that are way better than me, told me that's always the leader's fault. But then you turn around and you ask, are all men leaders? And the answer is no. So you are actually, it's the same way, like fundamentalists from the red pill. Oh, your woman orgasming is not important, and you should do this and you should do that. That shit can actually undermine a man, undermine a man that doesn't have guidance or doesn't have the tools to actually digest it. It happens the same thing with this type of rhetoric. You are literally training. It's what do you call it? The al, not al, I don't know if I can say that word, but the al at the training camps where we're actually training men to go to the front line and to die for whatever reason. It is happening with women and men too. Men of greater stature are literally using these men as crash dummies and telling them, hey, go out there, don't be afraid, go out there and get them. And once they get railroaded and once they get into a building that is burning, they'll say, hey, bro, it's your fire. You should take a fire extinguisher with you. And I think that shit is not actually, is not good to anybody. It's only good to women that are looking for using men, because like I said, if everything is man's fault, a woman can use and abuse that system and nothing will happen to her, because she will use and abuse you, and as soon as she does it, she'll do it to me. So it is what it is.
Hold on real quick. Let me explain. I put this up here because they're going off in the chat about something I typed in there. Okay, so dirty folks and started something. Now women are like, we the smart with it. They think we all think they're stupid. So let me clear this up really quick, because this is not my thing. This is actually science, and I'm going to drop the link right now to an article I read a long time ago on this, or not even that long ago. So the real Pookeisha is responding to me saying the smartest man will always be smarter than the smartest woman. That is scientific evidence that is true. What it actually is that men are both dumber and smarter than women. There are more dumb ass dudes than there are dumb ass women. But you won't be able to really tell because the world still has use for dumb ass men. All men actually have to be able to do is follow instructions, because we build with our hands. So a dumb ass man can still build earth. He can produce 1,000 times more than a dumbass woman can, as long as he got these 2 things right here, and he can follow and say yes sir, no sir. The dumbass men are everywhere. So what it really is that there are more women who are probably a little more literate in the middle. When you start to get to the intelligence curve at the top, the characteristics that we have as men will always overtake you as women. So men are both dumber and smarter. There is no lawyer, no doctor, no version of that a woman can be more astute naturally than a man. You have natural disabilities when it comes to where we have an advantage.
I
Mike.
agree with
Mike,
that.
can I ask Mike? Let me put something to you, though, Mike.
Give me 1 second.
No, wait a minute.
You can go right after me.
Let
I'm
me
gonna
just
be
say what
I'm not gonna be
I'm
long.
gonna say what I
I
gotta
just want to
say,
say
man.
two
Why you always
sentences.
cut me
I
off?
just want to
brother?
say two sentences, Arpain. I'm not gonna be long. I swear. I agree with what Trigger Mike just said, but it's also more women than men.
No, they're not.
It is.
Well, no, they're not. Well,
they're not now more men than women.
They're not more men than women in the world now.
Let me say what I
more
gotta
women.
say here. You know, Mike, this whole issue about who's smarter has nothing to do with what we're going through. Has nothing to do, because if I was sitting here from 100 foot looking down, men could be as smart as we are, but why are we in the predicament we're in now? Why are we being bested in this whole marketplace the way we are now? How come things are in such disarray?
That's artificial.
All right, so it has nothing to do with intelligence.
That's
this is not an intelligence battle.
The problem is
I don't want to talk over you, but can I answer Arpain's question then, just right quick?
I was gonna say that's actually very easy to answer. Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so Arpain, because a lot
sir.
of these niggas want to be bad bitches. Go ahead, Trigger Mike.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
But no, I want to answer.
It's funny though.
I want to answer what Fatty said. See, we're not saying that all men are the leaders. We're saying the leaders take blame. It's a difference between being a male and a leader. Those two things are not the same.
Yep.
Facts.
So when we give advice to a person and say, hey, this is what leaders do, and if he assumed that he's a leader, he's not, that's not on the person who's giving the message. He need to reevaluate his leadership. So it's not that we're just saying just because you're a man, you got the leadership gene. No, you got to qualify for it, and all men don't qualify for it.
And let me
That's
because
facts,
we
Peter,
talk
man.
about
Anike is not a
this
leader.
is another gender war
Anike
topic.
is not a leader.
Hold on real quick. This is another gender war topic that men allow, because when a man's ability to lead other men has nothing to do with an individual man's ability to lead his woman.
Thank you.
Women keep
Thank you.
conflating this whole thing where you're not a leader of men, so therefore I should not follow you. He's a man, therefore you should follow him. If he's a forthright man, he got good values, he got good characteristics, you should follow. He is superior to you. That is what we're ultimately saying. And I feel like a lot of women use weak ass simps who will come out here and be like, all men are leaders and we all should be. All men have never been leaders.
No,
it's very small, very few men.
Mike, you gotta be the leader of your household.
I am very disappointed.
Oh shit!
Here we
By
go.
all the shit.
Here we go. Say something right quick, and then you next.
I am very disappointed. You know what? You know what? I'm very disappointed.
Hey, Night is you are out of control, bro. Relax, Jesus Christ.
No. Fatty,
you're going to do a stupid joke.
I love you, but
why are you telling me 1 second? You've been talking for how many? I've been listening to you guys for the past 45 minutes.
Get him, Ike.
Gilded Quan just want to say one thing right quick. Go ahead, Gilded.
No, I was just saying you got to be the leader of your household. That's all that you can truly lead as an individual man. You deal with that first, and then you build out from there. I'm not going to be out here trying to lead random men. No, they need to lead their household, and I lead my household, and that's how all of this gets solved.
No, but
a man is born a natural leader. I don't know why you guys are comparing sixth grade and third grade. You see, I don't know why you guys are.
So they can't be natural leaders and be dumbass men out there.
I think we speak. Okay, what I'm trying to say is this, right? You can't compare sixth grader and a third grader. That's crazy. Men and women have no comparison. I don't know why you guys are comparing both. Men are made to lead women. Women are never made to lead men. Men are made to be to be intellectually sound. Women are made to be emotionally sound. Men go from one stage to another. Women retain information. Men don't retain information that much as women because they're constantly developing the next thing. Women retain information because they are made to nurture the household. So comparing men and women is just like
magic because Anike full of shit.
No, okay, hold on. Let me finish my full of shit.
Hey, Night,
so
give me just 1 second, Kenny. I'll give you the mic. I'll give you the mic. No, I'll give you the mic. 90s, your jokes are ruining the show. Thank you very much. Go ahead, DK.
Go ahead.
So what I'm trying to say is this, right? We shouldn't be comparing ourselves with women. Why are we doing that? They're not even in our level at all. The least woman is not, excuse me, the least woman is not compared to the least man. The most smartest woman can never be compared to the smartest man. No comparison whatsoever.
We
An
established
average man,
We didn't even say that. We talking about men versus men. We're not talking
no, you
about
guys,
men versus
man, you guys be talking about men versus women all day here.
We have not.
Hold on, but this is where you're wrong at. And all men are not leaders. Like this idea,
Thank
just
you,
because you was
Edom.
born, no,
Yeah.
just because,
all men are not.
listen, you're making fatty point when you talk about men who can't lead now got to take responsibility for leadership stuff. They're not. They're not.
Thank you.
It's some people who you're not. See, this idea just because I was born a man, it makes me a leader. No, it's a rite of passage to become a leadership.
No. Iman, you're wrong.
No, you
Every
wrong.
man is born.
You are wrong.
Man, just let me talk, man. Every man is born a leader of his household. But not every man is born a leader of a society. I'm coming. Not every man is born a leader of the society. Not every man is born a leader of the society, but every man is born a leader of his household.
No, there are literally men out there that's not.
Up here. Go ahead, B Magic. Say something.
There's literally. See, I don't understand. I think people don't actually analyze and study history. We don't even understand our own being here on the planet. Weak men have always existed.
Thank you.
If y'all think men have always done construction job, every man has been building society. Every man has out there been fighting wars. Every man has out there been leading society and civilizations. That is just not the truth.
Thank you.
Weak men have always been around.
That is what I just said.
No, so they can't be leaders. Weak men cannot lead.
Maybe you guys weren't paying attention.
Wait. And here's the thing.
Intellectually dumb people cannot lead a society. They can't even lead their own household. That's why they do have women out here leading households. I hate to say it, but there are literally women out here by the thousands leading households.
But that's okay. Here's the thing.
Okay, and I want to make one more point. This is the reason why I came on here.
Go ahead,
Rock.
I'm gonna make this one point. I've noticed while I studied historical events, certain aspects that are a problem in society are more of a distraction than an actual thing that needs to be focused on. Not saying it's not a problem. This quote unquote war between men and women is more of a distraction of the real war, which is the war on families.
Thank you.
Women and men naturally go together. This war on families is what's creating the divide between women and men.
What does that mean?
They naturally. Okay.
No, you got it.
No, finish. Let B Magic finish his point quick.
And he's proving my point about people. Dumb people can't be leaders. What do you mean? What does that mean?
Now, what does that mean? The war on families, like what does that mean?
Okay. Ever since the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, propaganda, brainwashing, government influence, social programs, all that stuff has been a war on families to separate men away from women, children away from fathers, children even away from mothers, so on and so forth. When they took out certain aspects of traditional family values within society structure and framework, that's when the downfall of relationships between men and women happened. When these entities push their way into the minds, the spirits of men and women, not just one part, because it's on both parts. Men, we didn't step up to the plate. I'm gonna be honest, we wasn't stepping up to the plate. Be like, hell no, you're not taking this. You're not taking prayer out of this, or you're not taking this away from here, you're not doing this. We had such a strong foundational value system back in the day that we allowed that to happen. Men didn't step up. I didn't see where was the protesting and the movement and the marching against them doing what they did against families.
Wait. Be magic. My only thing against what you're saying is the woman is an adult, the man is an adult.
Yeah.
It's really an attack on children.
Which is we all know the cornerstone of the family system. Because men do what? We sacrifice for children just like women sacrifice.
You guys got everything. You guys got everything
It's
wrong.
because they want to indoctrinate your children to fuck
one at a time.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nigers, one at a time.
I'm pretty sure nobody on this panel is gonna say that it's not natural for women and men to be together.
It's natural.
Because it's natural and it's been happening for thousands of years. What interjected to make this quote unquote gender war?
No, marriage is actually a very
is one thing that you guys haven't said. One thing is the reason why they're doing this gender war, and that is called enterprise. United States is a capitalist. It's a capitalist country. Let me tell you something that you guys want to know. And I think some of you just keep forgetting. United States in the last 100 years figured out one thing, that men as household head refuse to allow the dollar to flow. You see what I'm saying? They refuse the money to flow. So what the US government did was to break up the family so that the money can flow. So by doing that, they took money and put it into women's hands. Because women spend money, women don't save money. Men save money, men don't spend money. If you look at the way enterprise flow today, men tend to reserve their money, tend to live in smaller houses when they are by themselves. Women tend to be in a bigger house. Women tend to spend. Stop destroying. Okay, you know what? You got. Okay, I gotta tell you something because I gotta. You know what? English. I gotta talk to you one thing, right? You don't know who I am. You do not call me motherfucker. Okay? I gotta tell you something. You do not call me motherfucker. Look into my eyes. You don't know who I am. Don't ever call me motherfucker again. Don't do that shit. You should respect me just like I respect you. Don't ever call me motherfucker again. Respect me just like I respect you. Don't do that shit again.
Okay, let me.
No, it's not matter of Fight Club. I'm not gonna go that dirty. But don't do that. Don't do that. Please. Don't insult me like that again.
Aniki, let me calm down. Aniki, let me calm down.
You gotta let people finish talking, man.
Wait, Aniki,
why you were
don't
what I was just saying?
Aniki, you are lost. In 1923, when we talk about Seneca Village, Rosewood, when we talk about Black Wall Street, men kept the money amongst each other, but for specific things. For specific things, we kept that dollar circulating amongst us. No, women just go for frivolous things.
But
stop taking shit personal, because when you get emotional, you acting like the bitch.
Let me Trigger Mike is saying to let me talk.
No, listen.
I just want to make
and now she left.
Listen, hold on.
Now.
So listen, check this out. So be magic.
He just cut me off to say the same thing I just said.
Not get distracted on the real war. The real war in the front is on families.
Yeah, be magic.
I agree with
is 100% right.
Yeah, I agree. Be magic.
If you can
magic is right.
If you can break the family up, you destroys the future. They're not worried about the people that's actually here now. They say, how do we influence the next generation? And we know that we can influence the next generation if they don't have a father in the house, if they don't have, two people working together to be able to create wealth and give out generation wealth. He's 100% right. They want you to be distracted and think it's about a woman, but in reality, to build a family, you only need one woman. And so,
Amen. You know what? But there's an economic component to it as well. So it's all of these things. All these things could be true at the same time.
Yeah, all of them true at the same time.
It's
You know?
all about power
Our
and
pain.
money.
If you
Money
get the
and
man
power.
out the house, then the woman spend more money without the man in the house. So you basically agreeing with what E-Man is saying.
That's what I said. All these things. That's what I'm saying. All these things that you. Hey, why
Yeah,
we
so
let
why you cut
Leanne?
him off?
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
but
cut
No,
him off.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Action.
This is
I
why we
agree
let
with
Hold
Leanne
on
say.
one second. We do have a woman up here. Let
Yeah,
her
let us
speak. Let her speak for the women, the whole women generation. So, do you feel that it's a gender war going on right now, young lady?
I don't know. I don't participate in that crap. This is the thing. First of all, I have to laugh because y'all talk about women being all emotional and you're sitting here bickering back and forth over stuff that don't need to be bickered about. But
Put names on it.
there's it's all of you. But
No,
this is
put
the thing.
names on it.
No, it ain't all of us.
Yeah, I ain't spoken.
Well,
about
I can't.
There's a difference between having emotions and living in your emotions.
Don't come up here with that bullshit.
That may be true, but that ain't
Okay,
every
so
woman.
every human's gonna have an emotional response to
Leanne,
certain
go ahead and say
situations.
Enike's name.
Well, to be honest, you're on my cell phone. I'm at work. Your things are about microscopic, and I can't read them. So it ain't about that. I'm trying to focus on what's
That's
going
what she
on.
said.
Stop.
So let me ask you a question. Do you feel that it's an attack on families today?
Oh shit. Let her
All
say
right,
what you wanted to say.
Okay, we're living in a society that's basically attacking anybody that's not at the top. And let's break it down a little bit more sociologically. And the fact that every household has to have two incomes, or you have to be making 3 times as much money that we were making when our parents were around. I mean, that's the crux of what's going on here.
Mute her.
And
that's what I'm talking about. That was an attack on families.
Let her finish,
well, it
please.
may be attack on family, but I don't think it's not designed to be an attack on family. What it is a movement to hoard wealth.
Let her
Well,
finish.
it
And
may
Nigel,
be the
stop doing that.
result. It may be the result, but I don't know that's the purpose. The purpose is to hoard wealth. The purpose is to create a society that keeps everybody on the bottom compromised, either emotionally, financially, physically, intellectually, on every level. And that's the bottom line of what's going on here. And the fact that we're all fighting amongst ourselves instead of trying to figure out how to solve our own problems is really the success.
So what you I think what you're not realizing is if I got 2 people paying rent, they're spending twice as much as they would be paying if they was not together. A lot of this thing is tied to incomes. They separate the family because they understood that when men and women are separated, they typically spend a lot more money. They got 2 gas bills, they got 2 water bills, they got 2 rents, and that was the goal, is to be able to make them spend more. But when you come 2 families together, the reason I say that families multiply, husband and wife multiply, is because now that you're under one roof, you can actually invest more and put yourself in the best place. And so if you understand that the real place to get us to the next level is bringing the family back together, husband and wife and kids under one roof, being influenced and having your kids balanced going into the world. That's the real fight.
Right, but you're defining the next level as a financial level. There's a lot of people that can do that by keeping their lives simple. They can turn around and live in some little ass farmhouse in the middle of Iowa and homeschool their kids and grow their damn food and still manage a household that doesn't display that kind of thing. I mean, you're giving more credit to the they than
let's
you
go
need to
along
be.
with what you're saying. So the same what you just described, but 2 people employed and pooling a resource instead of individuals separated in some so-called homesteading. Let's go and live on that little farm where it's inexpensive, and I go to work and you go to work, and my kid could get to a certain age and they go to work, and we all have a defined thing, and we want to build and build and build. So when I die or my wife dies, we keep building. We don't just stop there.
But see, you're talking about going to work. You don't have to be going to work to be making those things happen. It's buying into the society that we're talking about that's creating the problem. If we want to live in the society as it's been created, yeah, you can define it that way.
Anybody who tell you don't need to go make money is crazy. Be
yeah,
magic.
no. So this is
Hey,
oh shit.
so I still don't want people to be distracted. It is about families because of the simple fact financial issues amongst families have always existed. It's not about the money, it's about what is behind the money. When people were struggling back in the 1900s or early 1900s and prior to the 1920s, they always had financial issues. It's not about money, it's about we're going to have these financial issues, but we also going to make sure we're going to have a legacy at the end of the day. We're going to
And the
put family.
financial issues depends on who owns the land, sir.
It doesn't matter. They didn't care
It
about all
does.
that. All they cared about is, can my children do better than me and have grandchildren and maintain a family for generations to come and continue to build. We don't have
Yeah,
that
but
mindset.
I get it, but who's creating the
Ever since
attack,
the
sir?
1920s, the roaring 20s, that is when the individualized, selfish mindset got implemented into our society. Before that, it was straight family focused. No matter what the financial situation was, no matter what the struggle was, no matter what sicknesses, plague, no matter what, family
Team
first.
Fatty.
But yeah,
That's a real
so
nigga.
be
So the
magic.
team be magic.
Fatty actually disagrees. So Fatty, are you disagreeing with?
I disagree because this is a bunch of bullshit. Before, on the last 200 years, your kid will be working on the fucking farming or fishing at 8 years old. Your wife will be dying at
Okay.
the goal was not my kid be a better life than me. Johnson, the son of the
Really?
fucking, yes, because your kids was working at the age of 7. That's not a better life. Your
So,
kids, no, let me finish.
do you have
Listen,
children?
no, let me
Do you have
finish. Let me finish
children?
my point. You
Do
don't need
you
to.
have children?
You don't need to
No,
cut
do you
now.
have children? Because
The
until you have
sir,
children,
sir,
that's the purpose of having
sir,
children.
this is a
That's
recent,
the
sir,
main purpose of
sir.
having children.
This is a
But you're-
recent. This is. Let me finish my point, guys. This is a recent concept. The concept that your kids are going to live better lives than you is not true. Listen, like for example, you guys have the Johnson, the name that is John plus son. Basically, the son of the doctor will be a doctor. The son of the teacher will be a teacher. The son of the fisherman will be a fisherman. That's why you have names that are composed by son afterwards. Jackson,
Sound
ignorant,
ignorant as fuck.
Be
William.
magic. Let
Listen.
me finish right quick. Let me finish.
Listen, Williamson. Those kids were working by the age of 8, 9, 10. What happened was, again, we got protection for kids so they don't work so soon. We got protections for women so they don't have to die so soon. The medicine got better. We got actually women joining the workplace now. They're getting money too. And what happened was you don't have religion to control nobody. You don't have laws to control nobody. You don't have actually punitive shit that usually put people on their place and made them having a happy life and a happy wife and a happy family and a happy kids. Now that shit doesn't matter. The average woman is not talking about, oh my God, is this a war on families? The average man is not talking about that. They want a life, they want to be together, but they are so not selfish, but they are so individualistic minded that now they can pair, bond, and they can stick together. That's what's happening right now. This is not about the war on families. This is not about the powers that be. This is about people being raised to be individuals.
Please let me
and
go
then
after B Magic. Please let me go after B Magic.
go. No, Mr. Let go. Go ahead. You can go next. Go ahead, Mr. Let go.
Okay. Let me finish what I'm trying.
No. It's
full
Mr. Let
point.
go. It's 90s. It's Mr. Let go.
What?
No, it's Mr. 90s. Go ahead, bro.
I want to go after B Magic because he.
And I want you to shut the fuck up. Stop interrupting people for no reason.
Fuck you, you pig blob. You don't scare me, you foreign bitch.
Damn.
Oh man, let's be civil, man.
Yeah, let Leanne finish what she
I
was
love
saying.
Fetty. He's one of my favorites.
No. There's no love here.
Y'all
You
going
need like the
wild.
90s, bro. You have a show now, bro. If people are talking and you keep ad-libbing, you keep
Because my
interrupting, you
point
keep.
is this.
But
Let's
so
go
shut,
along with
be
what
nice
you
and
just
shut
said.
up. Nobody treats you like that.
If children are in the space that you just defined, and we did the same thing and we stayed consistent, I am a middle class person. My children shouldn't be the same as me. They should be better than me. They shouldn't be the same as me. I want my children to do better than me. So here's the situation. I have 2 houses right now. My kids should have 4 or 6. And when I pass away, all my shit is theirs, whether I like them or not. So I agree with B Magic. We changed away from that. We got individualistic. We went away from family.
But I think if we measure our life versus our grandparents' life, we would say that typically we have more, we're doing more than that. Like every generation typically get better. Now I get that you have like these one-off situations that you have like the F-ups of the family, but that's not what I'm talking about. It is designed that if we come together, typically from a 2-parent household, that they should be in a better situation because we have accomplished something in our lifetime. And so many people don't even accomplish something because they're so individually mindset.
And like I said, historically, that happened around the 1920s. When the 1920s happened and everybody got their individualistic mindset, that's when you started getting people just saying, okay, I'm going to focus on me. I want to have a career, not I want to make sure these kids are taken care of. But then that allowed other entities to get in. And now you got Virginia Board of Education talking about your kids don't belong to you no more. They are kids.
So let me ask Dirty Folk, do you agree that the family is the issue, or do you still think, have we convinced you that it's not about women and men, it's about destroying the family, Dirty Folks?
I don't think you can have a family without women and men, so you ain't convinced me. But all things could be true at the same time. So I'll give you an example. The marriage rate is going down 10% every decade since the 1950s. Currently, it's at 9% of new marriages. 26% overall for women, 32% for men, but they count boomers. Black women on their first marriage is 9%. That's projected to be 2% by 2030 with a plus minus 2%. I know a lot of girls who declined 2 marriage proposals in their 20s that's in their 40s saying, where's all the good men? I don't think that men ever went away from women. And I think that's an issue, but I don't think men ever went away from women. Men have allowed women to have blended families. Men have allowed women to have careers, which was unheard of in the 1980s. You know what I'm saying? Every decade, men give more and more concessions. And the more concessions you give, all power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So to answer your question, I understand the individualism, but I also understand that if anything, marriage is teamwork.
Well, how you feel about that B Magic? Because it sounds like you don't agree with that BS he just said.
It's not BS.
Because of the simple fact.
It's not BS.
RP, I will get to you when it's your turn, sir. It is B Magic.
I've always said
no, let's let R-Pain talk. We've been talking over him. Go ahead, R-Pain.
No, go ahead, B. I mean, I'll wait my turn. There's no issue. Listen, we're in violent agreement. I think we're in violent agreement with each other because everybody has this need to be so right over everybody else. All of these things are true. All of them. Listen, there's an economic component. There's a family component. I mean, listen, there's propaganda from feminism. There's all kinds of shit that's impacting the way we are now. I mean, even when, dirty folks said, my shit don't count because I was married in 87. Well, I have a
He's wrong,
view.
He's
wrong. I didn't say your marriage wasn't valid, R-Pain.
Let me just finish what I'm saying. I'll go back to shut up. I'll go back to shutting up. You shut up. I'll go back to shutting up. Listen, all of this shit is true. There's a lot of factors that have put us to where we are today. And where we are today is where people don't want to get married for whatever reason. Women are starting to say, I'd rather be free. And a lot of them are saying, statistically significant, want just to have babies without marriage. There's a lot of men afraid of being married because we have no short of examples of women taking us to the cleaners no matter how much we love them. Right? So just all these things.
R-Pain. So you telling on yourself. They taking us to the cleaners. They want to be free, but when men get money, they provide for their family. So you basically contradicting yourself, R-Pain.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not.
I started my my talking point, or what I was talking about with the families, I stated this: the war is against families. Yes, you got different fronts, you got different battles. Yes, there is contention between men and women. Yes, there are children issues. Yes, there's a lot of other issues, but this all started, whatever those issues is when they started implementing the destruction of family within society. Point blank, period. That's the origin of all this. I don't care what y'all want to talk about outside of families, but until we fix family structure, because everything else is natural within family structure. We've always had women and men and children working together to survive, and it was a necessity. But when we started this
Magic, how are you going to fix that? You're right, but how are you going to fix that without looking at the piece parts that made families the way they are now? There's a lot of pieces to that. You can't just say if we're gonna just say men and women should just start getting back together. Well, that's a natural thing for us to do. What's stopping that from happening?
Trigger. Can
No,
I
no.
hold
on, y'all. That particular issue. So nothing is going to change, because nothing's going to change on its own. Society, is going to hit its own fever pitch. So really, what it is that the women who have participated in this behavior the most, they're going to have to lose, and it's going to have to be very apparent. Like their lives are going to have to be complete catastrophes. The children that they birthed out of wedlock are going to reject them, not want to take care of them. They're literally, as EBD said a few weeks ago, they're going to be a cautionary tale and written in the history books in shame. We don't have to shame.
Still in the nursing homes, still in the nursing home.
I think you're all just falling into the trap.
Exactly. So that's going to need to happen to them for most of the people in society to be like, I don't want that shit happening to me. That's usually the way it works. People don't change until they have no choice. We're trying to get them to change consciously, voluntarily. Absolutely not. They're literally going to need to be Skid Row in every city in America with women on the street. So think about it this way. Every country is defined as developed by several factors, but there is not one developed country that has a large amount of homeless women and children. But that's going to be America in 20 years, right? Because most of them are single. Most of them are not going to want to work. AI is going to take their jobs, and the men that they rejected are going to reject them in return. So we have to see them lose that way for society to really get the picture like, oh, damn, we were supposed to be in a family structure. Because he can work with his hands. He still got work. We may not have as much as we used to, but he keep this roof over our head, right? So unfortunately, I'm not betting on women to lose. I just understand it's a mathematical sense.
And I want to say one thing.
Trigger, I gotta disagree. Women are leading in homelessness. I don't know if it's Russia or Europe, but it's one of them. I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure.
They got a lot of protection back here, so that's why they're not leading in the U.S.
Yeah,
but
society. No society was built to take care of half of its women. Not one. Economically, we can't do it.
What it is numbers. We could all shout out numbers, what the statistics are. Yeah, but if it ain't being propagated, and if it's not out front in front of the population, then it's not going to be understood or pushed. So that's the problem. There's a lot of issues that's going on that's under the table, behind closed doors, that they just not pushing. What up, Quan?
And I want to say this after whoever's next, and I'm gonna drop down.
Let me say this. So she says, if all the women are on the streets, who will the men end up with? That's not men's problem. Y'all outnumber us in this country, remember? And men, unfortunately, this is actually what the next question is about. Men can go get women from elsewhere. In fact, depending on if they want women with different morals, different values, women that won't leave them when they fall on hard times, all of the women immigrating in this country, unfortunately, will replace the women who are participating in the gender war. We are actually going through an ethnic switch right now. So they can't stop. The floodgates are open. So, I mean, this is why I say in 50 years, black people won't exist. If you want a nigga to look like me, he going to be Nigerian like me, because black men are going to get with Mexican women. They're going to get with white women. They're going to get with.
What you trying to say?
Hey, let me say that.
I'm saying that.
Here we go.
You guys are having the same conversation over.
No, this is what I'm saying.
No,
men will get with whoever it is acting right, and unfortunately, black men will breed out the black race. White women will breed out anybody who's willing to act right. You're going to get with and marry them, and you'll just we already see it now because black women are the number one largest group of interracial daters. They're growing, the largest growing group.
Who?
To where they're just going to breed out the black race. It's in books. You got to read the theories on it, but you can see it in real time happening.
Yeah,
Who want black women outside the U.S.?
There's a bigger picture going on here that you guys aren't touching.
I heard
on.
that.
Yeah, enlighten us.
All right.
Yeah, like me, Trigger. Who want black women outside the
No,
U.S.?
I'm talking about men.
They not like that.
No, a large majority of them are going to be single, bro. So this is the craziest part about it. So what is one of the biggest talking points on why women don't want to marry men and why black men are bandits? I don't want a 50-50 relationship. So isn't it ironic that the women who don't want 50-50 are going to end up paying 100% of their own bills? Don't you find that to be really ironic? Nobody's going to put up with their shit, bro. Nobody's going to they're going to end up paying 100% of everything on their own because no man is going to deal with the attitude we've been experiencing these last few decades.
I will go after her, and I got one last point.
Hold on. We just tried to structure the conversation, and he said he gonna go after her, but you butt in.
Hold on, real quick. Let me get these super chats read. Who was going next? Who wanted to go? My bad.
I've been listening to you guys all day. I'll go.
All right. Advanced perception, $5. We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we do know it was us that scorched the sky. I love that movie too. We nerding out over here. That's what's up. T-Dub, $2. Salute to Team Fatty in the panel. My man Fatty came up and blazed. Graced us with his present. Advanced perception again. Take away Section 8 and women lead homeless. Oh my God. If you take away Section 8, it's over, bro. They on the street immediately. And like I said, the men that they rejected will reject them.
Yeah.
Where do the kids go?
Run that man as kids. Look. This is the
exactly.
God on the truth. Nobody in America ever wants to say that some people just gotta get it the hard way. We think we can save everybody. If you want women to understand how bad they've trespassed, the children need to be hurt too.
No,
I mean
they need to be on the street too.
There is no.
I agree. But they won't get their kids. So
when you travel, you see the other aspects of the world, and then that's why a lot of these immigrants, they come here and they understand the rest of the world, and they do what they got to do here. But people live in such a small bubble here in America that they don't understand that people literally got kids homeless out there, and nature is brutal. Yeah. It's a survival mechanism. Family is a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
If you see it as anything else,
yep.
You blinded to nature.
I agree with B Magic because our poverty is luxury to them. But I'm gonna go after Leanne, and then I'll bounce down.
All right, go ahead, Leanne.
I said there's a bigger situation here that nobody wants to step back and look at. And from my perspective, we're looking at the fall, and you got to listen to me and not jump all on me and let me finish what I'm going to say. We're dealing with the fall of patriotism or the patriarchy in the United States or in Western cultures. And the reason we're doing this is we're talking about the white male patriarchy. They've decided the rules, they've created the structures, they've benefited from all of the employment and the taxes and the profits and the money of what's going on, and they've basically fucked it off.
I agree.
The fact is, and so this is the thing that I find ironic, is so much of the talk that you guys are doing, you're following in the same footsteps of the power structure of the white male patriarchy, when I think that black men should establish a different one, and this should be about teamwork.
You did not.
Whoa.
Hold on.
I don't agree with that.
I
was rocking with you at first, Leanne.
Leanne, finish up. I gotta let you finish.
I want to hear what you have to say. I'm not telling you this because I think I'm 100% right. I'm telling you this because this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at why people look at somebody different.
Leanne, let me just be very clear to you, as somebody who has immigrant parents. White men didn't create shit. This patriarch,
but they still have had the power.
This system of family, they don't do better. They don't do this system of family better than immigrants
No, they
do.
don't.
In fact, they are the second worst in the United States. They don't do anything better. So when you say we're adopting systems of white patriarchy, that is historically incorrect.
Let me clarify.
She kind of right, Trick. She kind of right.
No, she's not.
Let
She's
me
not right.
clarify.
No,
No, let me clarify
Go ahead,
before you
go
get
ahead.
too far off here. What I'm trying to tell you, I'm not telling you they did it right. I'm telling you they did it wrong. They set it up wrong. They didn't value women. They didn't value children. They don't value family. They value their wealth and their power, and that's it.
Okay.
And this has to, the only thing that's going to change that is if men and women create a balanced team.
Hold on. Ikene and then Dirty Folks.
But wait a minute,
Yeah,
Trigger, I said, could I go after Leanne? People went before me.
My bad. All right, hold on.
I will drop
Ikene
down.
and Nightich, then Dirty Folks.
I've been quiet for a while. Let me go in too.
Because your name ain't Akine up here.
JT, you parked.
Yeah, I'm
you at
good.
the truck stop, JT.
Parked yet, but I'm good.
All right, Ikene, go ahead.
Getting this money, man.
So what she said was absolutely in line. What she said is absolutely in line with what actually happened. But the thing that she got wrong was that white men did not create patriarchy. But what white men did is this: white men created business and run patriarchy like a business. You see what I'm saying? Because if you look at exactly what they did, is this: they have always lived in the mountains and in caves and in so many things, fighting wars. So patriarchy to them is war, not family. So they've been fighting wars for a thousand years that ended in 1945. So they never had the idea of patriarchy, family patriarchy. You see the problem, right? The white men. So black men have always known family because everything that black men did throughout centuries was about family, carrying family along, carrying family, building family. That is why they have multiple wives, because it's all about their legacy. Black men created legacy, created transfer of wealth from one family to another, made the son the head of the household, made the daughter to not take anything from her father to her husband, because her husband is supposed to have those provisions, so she cannot take provision to her husband. So the black men created that. But what happened is that the white men sees everything in the business lens. Anything the white man does, he has to see through the business lens. If it's not business for him, he's not interested.
Okay, so is it my
I
turn
mean,
now?
you kind of agree with Leanne. She
Wait,
said the white man did it.
I actually go after Leanne. Now you doing it.
I ain't cutting you off, Nightish. I ain't cutting you off. I'm just putting in a rebuttal real quick. You know, I don't talk too long. Don't do me like that.
Go ahead.
No, you got it. Now you go ahead. What you can't go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, it's not a Kango, brother. This is called a driver's hat. Anyway,
You can be up a door for all that.
Call it what you want to.
All right, go ahead.
Akine is right. And that stuff worked, and it should have never changed. And what she's saying, I understand from that perspective. But here's the thing: we are not the same. And I think when we have these discussions, we do this comparison thing. And what we have to understand, even though I look a little pink or white or whatever, I'm a black man. We are not the same. And the most powerful thing we have is family. And even though I agree with B Magic, the only thing is that woman is an adult and you're an adult, and it's really an attack on the children because we want to indoctrinate the children so they can go in the wrong way. So what our real roles as mothers and fathers is to guide these children in the right way. And I'm going to say this again. I live in the middle class. I'm not at the bottom. I'm not at the top. My children should do better than me because all that I have established should be passed down to them. But they have to have financial literacy. They have to understand how to live within their means. They have to understand things that they have to respect and listen to me. But since we're in a time of individualism, People think they know and they don't have a fucking clue. Just listen to dad because he loves you until his heart stops beating. And if she's on the same page, it's the same thing with her. And it's really about these children because they are the future. I'm on leave with that. Thank you.
We are the world.
We are the world.
We are the
the children are the future. That's right.
All right, there you go.
That's crazy. That's what I heard too. All right. I mean, just on Leanne's point.
Can I go next, by the way? I'm sorry, Dirty. Thank you very much.
Black or anybody else, Mexican, whoever, isn't quote unquote taking white men's version of patriarchy. As a matter of fact, I would say that the baby boomers tried to kill patriarchy. So what will happen is when a couple of people with more gray hair die off, y'all gonna hate what happened when Gen X get our turn to lead, because we lived through all of the mischief. So I'll say this. Somebody said something about Section 8, all these girls will be homeless when Section 8 goes. Y'all probably don't remember this, but when Trump was in, he set up the brain doctor. I can't think of his name.
Herman. Wait.
Carson. Ben Carson.
Yeah, Ben Carson.
Damn.
He made Ben Carson the head of HUD. Remember that?
Yep.
And Ben Carson was talking about eliminating Section 8. And there were all type of posts like, man, you should see, man, threads longer than train smoke.
I remember.
Talking about girls, I'm gonna get back with my baby daddy. Like, if I can't say anything about a woman, they are survivalists.
Yep.
There's a lot of men who shouldn't procreate. This free love gave women an opportunity to choose their own man, and that should never have happened. Yep. So you were looking at people that once everything goes down a rabbit hole within the next 20 years, because in the next 10 years, the marriage rate gonna be 0 plus or minus 2%. But in 20 years, if China ain't bought us out, you're gonna watch everything rebound, because you got young kids talking about they don't want to get married as young as 11, 12 years old with valid reasons. It's not like an emotional thing. They say, I see my mother, I see my grandma, dot. There's videos. There's some chick that asked her 3 kids, why do you think I'm a single mother? And the daughter was like, man, mom, you cute, but you did this, and this, and I'll never be a single mother. Like, there's already a pushback from the future, that you guys call it, because that's kids are.
Yeah,
that is not going to happen, because there will be
yesterday they approved over-the-counter birth control, non-prescription. So
this is the, I don't know if you guys living on illusion or delusion or reality or not. Women, for most part, if they're not drug addicts or have mental health, they will never be homeless, because there's always a sucker ready to take her to home and to put her on the spare bedroom. Like, that's always was the case. The woman can literally be on television and says that woman stabbed him to death and she did this to this man and da. The man will put her in front of his house. He's going to go to work, and as soon as he comes back, she's not there anymore, because there was a sucker that says, "Oh my God,
it's not enough suckers though."
That's no. Actually, there are, most men are suckers. Most men.
It's twice as many women as men though.
No. Listen, that's a lie. Men are like, listen, please, right? We have these corn stars, these OnlyFans models that nobody wants, getting wifed up every week. We do shows about this every week. No matter the body count, no matter the trauma, no matter how many kids, the men are going to take them. That's the first one. The second one, Trigger Mike, you are completely wrong. The black race is not going to end. Like, black people that look like you are not going to end, because you know what black men are not going to do? They are not going to stop fucking black woman. They're not going to marry them, they're not going to cuff them, but they'll still continue to fuck them. They fucking them right now. The problem is not fucking and making kids. The problem is being on a honest and serious relationship. And as long as men keep fucking women raw, their kids are going to appear. That's the reality. They are not going to stop fucking them just because they are bad women. Actually, we like shitty women, at least to put our penis inside of them. And the last point, indeed, I can let it go, right? Yeah. Since the lady started with the finger pointing thing, lady, you were on the ice, you just didn't like your cut. A white woman was on the car when the white man was doing what he was doing. You just didn't like their cut. And you know what's more problematic than the white patriarchy? Those bitches, those white bitches that said feminism, yeah, and they poison every single woman on Western society to the point where black women and brown women now are fighting against their own interests, their own interests. So if you have to point somebody, if you actually have to play this blame game, white women actually were the ones that started this shit because they are the one infecting society and they are the one telling to other black woman, to other brown woman, yeah, don't listen to that guy. Yeah, woman power. Yeah, go to school. Yeah, fuck everybody.
But she said that, Fatty.
No, but that's the thing. She put it the blame on the men and the men patriarchy. No. White woman fought white men.
You're right.
Yeah,
White woman fought
Yeah.
white men. Before the black manosphere, there was a white manosphere. There's a book. There's a book that I read. There's a book that I read like 7 years ago called "The Manipulated Man" by a writer named Esther Vidal Esther something. Argentinian 50 years ago, telling a white woman we're using white men and manipulate him to get everything they want and like planning an insurrection. This shit happened way before we're talking about the black community this and the black community that. So I don't like to finger point. I don't like to point my finger to everybody. But if you're going to talk about white men, black woman, white women need to be in jail first because they were not in jail per se, but they no. One second. No, not in jail first, but they actually need to be the ones on stands first because they were the one that poisoned the water. It wasn't the rest of the people. It was actually white women. So you guys can have the microphone. Thank you very much.
All right, let me get
So
these
once again,
real
speaking
quick.
from the male
Hold on real quick.
perspective,
Hold on real quick.
white men.
Leanne, you're going next. Let me just because we got to give you a chance to respond to that. Somebody said you should go to jail. God damn. All right. Michael Richardson says, I agree with her. She is so right. Advanced perception, $2. Appreciate that. Whether black or white, women hate the patriarchy, but they benefit the most from it. So I don't fucking understand why that is.
Exactly. And they avoid the most.
So this is the funny thing about
they find
what
everything
replaces.
about
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
attractive.
Other ethnic groups, especially the ones here in America, what they did with the black group is, it was bold. Like black women are known around the world as bold. That's what they were known as 20 years ago. Look at what they're doing. They're just defying their men. They're wearing whatever the fuck they want to wear. And everybody watched and said, well, if they talk to their men like that, before we do it, let's see how it turns out. How do you think that experiment is going? And do you think other people are going to adopt it in full? No. They realize, oh shit, you can't go against the patriarchy and have that shit work out in your favor for your children. It literally creates a degeneracy. So it didn't work. If there's no patriarchy, what the fuck is there?
And my thing is you can't be a
collaboration.
Most patriarchy.
Hell no. Who want to collaborate with you?
In a society where you want to be against something and then be attracted to that same thing.
Let me get this one read. $10 AL. Most white men were serfs before they came to this country and didn't become middle class until the New Deal and redlining. How did they create the patriarchy system? Hey, that's some history for you. But Leanne, let me ask you this question. You said collaboration, right?
Lock her up.
So Aristotle said the greatest inequality, I think I'm paraphrasing here, is making unequal things equal. So that is inequality against us men. Let me ask you a question. Did women need help to equalize to men? Did y'all need help to do it?
At any point did you hear me say that men and women were equal?
No, I'm just saying, did women need help to equalize up to men's level? Did you need help to get the same jobs that we got? Did you need help to make the same money? Did you need help with that from the government?
Yes, man.
Yes.
I mean, I guess in theory, but there's reasonings for that because who set the rules?
No. That means you should not be equal. This is a world.
No. Who set the rules? Who decided why white men got paid more than other people? Who decided why men got paid more? Hold on. It was other men.
What I'm talking about is the world of men. It dictates you take. Well, you get what you can take. If you can't take power, if you can't take leadership, you can't have it. That's really the world. Like we believe the world lives in an actual republic or a democratic society. This is all a social construct. It's all fake. One bomb drop. You go to Ukraine. Like this is a real life example. the ladies are not throwing feminist parades there right now.
Oh, they left.
They fucking left. They riding dicks of new niggas in
left
Prague.
them in there.
Yes,
just like the Titanic.
So that's the real world. This is a social construct. None of that stuff exists here. Talk about
Everything that you're still talking about is it's still going off of the same thing. If you have a group of or a couple that are existing, there are things that women are going to have a greater aptitude for that balance out the things that men do not have aptitude for.
Give
Is
an
that
example,
correct?
please. Give an example, please. Without breastfeeding and having kids.
Oh, the thing that perpetuates your seed? I mean, let's just minimize that as much as possible.
A comparison is a
That's
comparison,
manipulation.
right? I'm not saying
So this
men
is the
are
thing.
better.
I didn't jump on here to justify every woman and every mentality
defend
of the
your
female.
point.
No, excuse me. Stop interrupting.
Okay, sorry, lady. Sir. Defend your point. Like what? What do they do?
You need to take a broader look at the history of civilization and who has conquered it, who has been the workers, who has been the victims, who has been sent to war, and who has profited from it. Women have been fodder for as longer than Black people were. They have been traded off.
What?
They have been, excuse me, women have been
repeat that, Leah.
and bargained for and basically just given away since the beginning of time.
Lady, do you know that our women that are Black people?
You need to be up under the jail.
You understand that throughout the civilization there were Black women too, right? You understand that?
Yes, there were, and I said women. I didn't say.
Okay,
so why are you comparing? Why are you? Wait, guys, please don't save her, lady. You said exactly that there were things that women do that like some like counterbalance or whatever that men don't do as well without the kids getting like without like birthing kids and breastfeeding them, things that men can do. So of course you are better. What is these things that you're talking about?
Households, empathy, raising children. See, these things are all undervalued because they are things that make you think harder and behave differently.
No. So there's studies that say that women wash the dishes better than men.
Okay, let's say they did.
Wash the dishes. Minimize the shit as much as you can.
No.
But I'm telling you, you don't talk about family, but you don't talk about the balance of a family. You don't talk about the support that women give to men. You don't talk about any of the stuff that balances a relationship. You want to talk about family, and then you take family out of the equation.
I got a follow-up question. Wait. Let's say that you're right. Everything you said is right. Because all the things you said you need to be barefoot pregnant in the kitchen for. So what do you do in the workplace? Because y'all don't want family. So everything you said is family oriented, but y'all don't like family. Because marriage is oppression.
No, you all, first of all, you're not talking to y'all. I'm an individual. I have a family. I have a business. I run my business. I take care of my family. I take care of what needs to be taken care of. I'm not on welfare. Nobody's paying my bills.
Who asked you that?
So Leon, if you in a family, you don't have a man.
Men can do.
Leanne, so if you say you have a family, you got a man, right? I mean,
no, not right now.
So that's not a family.
Why you guys keep saving a letter?
Do you not have a family if you have kids and you're not married?
No, my God, keep deflecting, lady.
Leanne, you just threw yourself up on the bus.
Yeah, well, like,
but I'm gonna let Fatty keep cooking because that's why I've been quiet. I'm gonna let Fatty cook.
Again, I don't understand.
Let me say this real quick.
He can not right now. Let Fatty cook. Let Fatty cook, please.
Kenny, you never say nothing. Kenny, you never say nothing real quick. But I'll let you go because I don't want to press the.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Okay,
it's fine.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
It's going to be real quick, guys. Real quick.
Okay, check this out, right? The only way Black family can come together is one way. Only one way. But the thing is that will the women accept it? If they don't accept it, it's going to keep being bad. Black men have a high testosterone than any other man.
Shit.
And I will tell you why. And that comes as a result of Black men to have a very high sexual need. Until the black man is allowed to marry 2 or more wives, the way he's done in history, that's the only way black family can come back together. Because I gotta tell you, these women are always want to run whenever they see a black man talking to another woman. It's a black man natural phenomenon to always seek something else, And I'm telling you guys, the women might not like it, but if you look at, I'm coming. If you look at back home, right, the reason why our ancestors instituted polygamy was because they understand human biology. They understand the man's biology. They understand how the black man lives, how the black man moves. Because understand that our ancestors have studied us for thousands of years.
Kenny, you said that you was quick, so I'm going to ask you. How many wives do you have?
Go ahead. I'm done.
No, how many wives do you have?
I have one wife.
How many wives do you have?
One wife.
Whoa, shit! So you're not following your own rules?
That's what I was saying.
Hey, but guess what?
Oh,
I'm just telling you, if we are going to
don't go nowhere. We
maintain
ain't done with
family, if we're going to maintain family just like we've done in the past thousands of years, right? It has to continue. But for the past 40 years, there's been a war against black man for marrying man on one wife. And guess what? Since that, the black family
Stop talking in.
I can marry 2 wives. I can marry 2 wives.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No, I can. It's not. I can. No, I can. 1 second, right? Wait, 1 second. 1 second. You've been on this earth for more than 40 years, I assume, right? Is the right assumption?
That's right.
50.
Why? Yeah, 50. Nope. 50 is no. Okay. Let's go with 40, right? What's stopping you from actually following your own rules? And since you are saying that black men should have multiple women, why does the man of your stature
I'm not saying that black man should marry multiple women.
No, I'm talking about
black man should exercise that option.
Huh? What does that mean? Fucking them?
I can. No. You got to marry them, not fucking them. You're not going to be fucking somebody's daughter. Our ancestors didn't allow that to happen.
Wait.
You have to marry them.
Wait.
Our pain is why I like you.
Everybody is somebody's daughter. Every woman is somebody's daughter, right?
And what is wrong with marrying somebody's daughter for a second wife, third wife? As long as she's going to put roof over her head.
My question is, why don't you do it? Why didn't you do it?
Okay, guess what?
Because he can't.
You can't marry one and second wife just that quick. You have to give 10-15 years gap before you can do the second wife.
Wait, what?
No, I ain't never heard that Econate. You always talking this Zamunda shit. I ain't never heard you 10 years. You always talking this Wakanda shit. I ain't never heard no man say it take 15 years.
No, guys, I got you. So let me ask you something.
If Ben has an opportunity, would have had a second or third wife by now.
Let me ask you something. So you justified the fact that black men having multiple wives because we have more testosterone, right?
As a fact.
Okay, so you are waiting for your 50s and 60s when your testosterone is depleted to have 2 wives? Is that what you say?
Because your wife will not perform at that age, so you need a second wife. Wait.
On your
he ain't never let Trigger Mike say him to today.
You don't have to do it if you can't do it, bro. But I'm just saying that a lot of black men are like that out there.
You blew your own point.
I'm not blowing my own point. It's just that you don't understand what I'm talking about. Fadi, you don't understand what I'm talking about. So to you, I blew up my own point. But you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Let me finish. If testosterone, if testosterone is the decider if you have more wives or not, you should be having multiple wives on your 20s when your testosterone is higher than ever will be in your life. Isn't that a fact?
Okay, man. Okay, you know what, Fadi? There is a reason why throughout history, when men in their 30s marry women in their 20s, right? the woman's sexual drive matches the man's sexual drive because they both, you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when she's in her 30 and he's in his 40s, right? Their sexual drive still match each other, right? So when he's in his 50 and she's in her 40, their sexual drive begins to change because her sexual drive is going down a little bit, but his sexual drive is still up. That is why you see men in their 50s will always gravitate towards younger women because their wife.
You know what? You know what?
You live in the new world. You don't understand any shit about biology. Okay? So somebody else should go and get on top. I'm done because I'm never going to be able to answer.
No, you say
because you making Wakanda look bad right now.
You don't. Kenny, you don't. You
gotta say
you don't.
Y'all just gonna troll all your lives or what?
We ain't trolling. We being real. The simple man, he know he's so damn bad, trick. He called you for help. He ain't never did that shit.
It does not.
I'm not. I say you can ask him questions so he can tell you the same thing. I'm not calling you Trigger Mike for help.
You
for help.
No, you.
But you ain't never asked Trigger Mike for help.
You guys are confused. Be real. You don't understand.
You didn't.
I told you can even ask our friend, and our friend can still tell you better because it seems like you guys are not understanding shit.
Hey, Kenny, with all the respect, right? You didn't address the point. You started to sing Aladdin music's A Brand New World, and then you turn around and this is honest opinion, right? It seems like you try to convince people that you yourself should have another wife by your 50s. That's what it looks like. It has nothing to do with.
If I want to get a wife in my 50s, I can do that because my culture allows me to do that. I don't need you to do that. I don't need anybody for that.
No. It's like me, for example, it's like me, like you see, for example, these guys, the Destinies and the Adams 22, right? It seems like me saying, oh no, I think everybody should ever be on a open relationship and let everybody fuck my wife. And then you notice that it's not them. You notice it's not them actually establishing a point. It's them trying to justify what they want so they don't look as bad as possible. It seems like you are doing that. Oh, you have to wait till your 50s to get another woman.
You know what, Fatty, you're a lost man. So somebody else should talk. You don't even understand what it is.
Our pain. You ever seen Ikane ask to be saved?
Well, no, listen. Here's the thing. All right, just getting back just a little bit. You're not saying that the answer to the gender war is for all the brothers that have more than one wife? Are we going to solve this? No.
That's not
our
what I'm
pain.
saying.
Our pain. Has Ikane ever asked to be saved? That's how damn bad he is right now. Be real, pain. Because we on your ass next.
What the hell are you talking about, Anton? You don't even know what you're talking about.
Snuggles,
you on the wrong show,
man.
Snuggles got a question. Hold on, y'all. Snuggles got a question. She says $5. Does testosterone assist you all when it comes to taking over and being in charge?
He probably helps. Testosterone, you become more risk taker, more ambitious. You usually do a little bit more.
Well, you know what? Let me put it this way. So earlier when I was talking about the intelligence curve, when you get a man of intelligence, high intelligence, and a woman of high intelligence, I think it's these chemical factors that start to take over as to why men start to overtake women in society in general. You're more ambitious. You're more, you're not weighed down by your chemical makeup. You're actually more empowered by it. And I think testosterone has a lot to do with that. That's why you can't really outdo a male corporate lawyer. He'll be up for 48 hours straight working on a case, right? He ain't got no period coming, none of that. So
low testosterone usually brings a lot of problems. Like you become more lazy, more obesity. You usually are going to have a lot of like ED, like a lot of things that actually push the male drive. Yeah, a lot of things that actually push the male drive has to be with testosterone levels.
Women
hey, you know what's crazy? That's the newest.
Stop nodding your head, our pain. We on your ass.
So I got a call from one of my old I don't know, colleagues talking about hey bro, I'm running a new chain of testosterone clinics. You trying to come, direct a region. I'm like, testosterone clinic? That stuff is like the newest wave in healthcare, bro.
Yeah, it's that TRT, the testosterone replacement therapy.
No.
Absolutely.
he
But
sent me
that's for
information
women
on
a
it.
lot of the
I'd already
time,
just
right?
You know
accepted
what's
his
so
new job.
crazy about that?
It's
Though,
more,
Trigger?
it's more for men. More for men than for women.
No, this was so crazy.
Oh,
On the
why y'all make
testosterone.
Buddy Braids quit?
Not maybe.
He.
Let me tell you
stopped
something. Let me tell you
Here's the
something.
thing. Here's the thing. They use that for two reasons. Number one, because only 0.2% of Americans are transgender, so they got to sell it to somebody.
Wait, what?
Only 0.2% of America are transgender. Those are normal. That's why they made the testosterone so girls can be.
Oh, absolutely not. It's for you to act. No, wait,
No,
one
no,
second.
no. I'm
Wait.
saying. I'm saying why I made it.
Huh.
No, he right,
Yes.
Fatty. He right.
No, but that, for example, Jeff
So now-
Bezos is on testosterone replacement
I'm not
therapy.
saying
He's
he's
using
not.
steroids.
Well, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm saying they have to find a secondary market for it. So now they use it
Yeah.
for athletes. So now athletes can do it
Cops.
without
They,
being
he
tested.
said cops are like the number one.
Oh yeah, but TRT is not
They don't
not
need
legal
that
in the United States. It's legal, right? As long as it's a prescription, like from the doctor.
It's legal with prescription.
Yeah, like
You got clinics popping up everywhere, bro. I was like, damn, this is the next big thing. But
as long as your wife keeps saying that the diesel, the diesel, Vin Diesel and The Rock look good, and they're like 50 something, and you look worse than them, like that shit helps a lot for everything, not just for the looks, for confidence, for you to actually be more active, for everything. But that's the thing. That's going to be the new shame when actually men start to get on their 40s and start to actually use that shit and start to become bigger and more ambitious and looking younger, and women are going to say,
oh, you needed help. Oh, you needed.
Yep. After
They'll say
20
anything at this point, but
after 20 years of
Trigger,
wearing wigs.
why you say your man Ikane?
Let me
Trigger, why you say your man Ikane real quick? Answer that.
$10, big end. What up, Trigger Mike? A simple EMP blast over a major city is one simple thing that keeps delusional sheep away from wolves. I would hate to see that day. Indeed.
EMP is the electronical one, right?
The electromagnetic pulse. Yeah, it'll fry our cell phones.
Everything. It will be Walking Dead. The purge all
Look,
over
I'm
again.
gonna be real with you. We need that shit to happen. We need it to happen.
It's a reality.
Because I'm gonna
check,
survive. Look. The worst part about it, all these people y'all keep making fun of. This is what half the world look like anyway. We're gonna survive. Y'all ain't gonna know what to do with yourself. You see what I'm saying? But I understand that is gonna humble. These people need like humility. Like American people is the only place where poor entitled people live, bro. So it's like, just hit them with that EMP one time. For a few years, just let it go dark, and we will all come back better for it.
Yeah. Sounds like a good diet plan to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Ant.
I became an adult.
And if you think Fatty is man of fortitude and saying something, you the sheep I am talking about. Oh, coming at your neck.
What did he say? And if you think Fatty is the man, I never said I was the man of fortitude. I'm not a leader. I'm not a guru. I don't give advice. I never said that. Why you guys keep calling me that?
Appreciate those super chats, my man Big Ant, always supporting. Thank y'all for coming through. Let me get the next question popping. God damn, y'all just be taking these things off on tangents. I had like 6 questions. We did 1. Thanks, nigga. God damn. All right, no, let me switch it up because what will men ultimately end up doing if we lose faith in our women?
I mean, they'll do what we're doing now. We in the shadows. We taking a step back.
You start putting kids on them and live your life like they don't exist. That's what is going to happen. Like, I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
Hold on, damn, what the hell is that? The real question is, what will women do when men lose faith in women? Because most of women's supplemental income comes from men. So what will women do if men be
child support?
They will start to get fit pictures. They will look at the next masculine man to taking care of them after they run their options. They just the woman run the same play. They are not going to change the game plan. They are going to say, okay, they didn't work on the left side. Let me try the same on the right side. Okay, they are going to do the same shit. It's the same. There's
hold on, it can't look. That's your play, bro. When men lose faith in women, women will go to polygamy. So that's when you.
They're already doing that shit.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's girls on girls where I'm from.
They are doing that shit already.
That's lesbianism. They don't
like isn't Cynthia G like a baby mama of a guy that has like 8 kids or something like that? Like they're already doing that shit. They lose the fight on men, and they will fuck a man that they're already doing this shit.
Yeah, they just gonna recruit more simps because they gonna always keep women going.
But that's why I had a rebuttal with you first.
You know what? Let me put it this way, because women know, like right now, everything is fake. Even the love from simps is fake, but they use it against more masculine, more traditional men, right? But the issue is that simps, their power, that their agency isn't real either, right? So masculine traditional men do not rock with simps. We don't like what they stand for. We're the ones who are actually out here taking care of our families, actually the ones out here leading and building society. So women don't ever want to be stuck with the losers.
But
so
I don't, Mike.
But they follow the simps.
But no, Mike.
Who held up Derek Jackson all the
That's what I'm also saying, that the simps won't produce the same results. So do you think women will ultimately be satisfied?
Yes. Yes. Let me tell you.
No, they won't be satisfied.
No,
they won't be satisfied with that.
Quan, let me say something, right? This is the biggest mistake that men do. There are a lot of powerful simps. Simps are not equal to weak. There's a lot of powerful men, tall men, strong men, kings, leaders, politicians, that they are simps do, and they are powerful. You are doing business with the CEO and he looks very masculine and shit, and then he goes home to his wife and she's stepping on his balls and he says yes man, no man. Like we have to actually talk with these men every single day. They are valuable men, they are producers, they actually help society go through. But the reality is, unfortunately, again, these women are not dumb. They know when the guy is a pushover, either be a leader or a follower, and they will follow through. If they can get the leader, the strong one, they just want you to look strong. As long as you follow them, they will be okay. So if they don't get the first option, they will go for the guy that actually doesn't look good on them, but they will use him for a couple of years, and as soon as he's not a placeholder that they want, they will drop it for the next one. That's the cycle of water.
Exactly.
But Fatty, check this out. We know women want the most
power simp that you're talking about.
Adam 22.
They do trigger. That's how they get
a power simp.
Adam 22 is
how they get on yachts.
Well, he's a money simp anyway.
They uphold them dudes. Like a lot of girls ain't got access to Derek Jackson, but who been holding that nigga down for all these years?
Millions of black women.
And we beg women. I beg women, yo, this nigga is lying.
But you're also making my point. Hold on. You're also making my point. This is why I said in the battle between men and women, I'm never gonna switch up. Women are the worst fans to have, because all you got to do is make one mistake, and where's Derek Jackson now?
Oh no, they still supporting him.
No.
They still supporting him, Trigger.
Still supporting him.
And Mike,
not as big though, but they still
but Mike, even though now he made it already as the Lamborghini, as the mansion, and he has a rotation of 9 women probably, and they don't turn away from him because again, women are looking at men like bags. Does that motherfucker looks good on me? They looking at men like shoes. Does these shoes look good on me? If the guy looks good on them, they will actually go to him, even though he might be a piece of shit, even though he might be a liar. They will lie to themselves actually to be with the guy. So no, I'm sorry. They are bulletproof, beautiful woman, not beautiful, but most women that have a vagina and powerful men, they go together and then, because if you notice on these conversations, when you're having conversation with each other and somebody's trying to shame a man into marrying, trying to shame a man into having kids, trying to shame a man into say, "Oh, you scared?" Who are these people? Are women or they are men? Most of them are men.
And Fatty, I do you one better. Once they moved on from Derek Jackson, guess who they on now? They on that Ace Metaphor guy.
Ace Metaphor, absolutely.
I hate Ace Metaphor. He want to be tripped so bad. Oh my god.
And that's gonna simp for him.
You can tell Ace is a fraud though. You can definitely tell he a fraud.
Ace want to be tripped so bad. I hate a copycat ass nigga.
If you guys look at it this way, when you go to a shoe store, right, and you want to buy a shoe, and you have size 10, right? What do? You want to get size 10 and a half. You want something comfortable to your feet. But a woman will wear a shoe that itches are so bad. She will still buy that shoe and wear it on occasion, even with all that pain. That tells you that men don't like pain. Women endure pain. So a woman, You see what I'm saying? A woman will go for a man that other women want. But
Wait,
men don't go for a woman that other men want. Because
Ekene.
men,
So
Okay,
I'm
you
sorry.
remember the movie?
I'm sorry. Ekene, I just
why are
want.
you cutting me off,
No, no.
Fadi?
I just want to say you stole my point about
Oh,
women
my
wear.
bad.
No,
Yeah, okay.
women are going to wear the shoes as long as it looks good on them, even though they are going
That's
to be hurt.
that's right. That's
That's
right.
a,
Yeah,
That's
this.
right.
I get it. On an
Hey,
East metaphor. On an
Tim,
So
East
why
Tim
you
metaphor.
in
ain't
the
just say
back,
he right, Econet?
cam up real
No, no.
quick, Tim, so I can see you. And
Like,
Tim in the back, cam up real quick so I can see. All right.
like on the Ace metaphor thing. Remember the movie Casablanca when the end scene she was like, "Tell me you love me, even if it's a lie." That's what it is. Every girl likes a fantasy. When I sold books, people tell you all the time. They say you sell novels to women, you sell how-to books and historical.
50 Shades of Grey, Twilight. Oh my God, you love you so much, even though you are worthless and you are a plain Jane, a vampire. Look at me. Like, this is actually what women like. They're the best
And like
sellers.
they toddlers, man.
Yep.
they love imaginary
And
friends.
they know it's a lie.
Absolutely. But answering to the question that Trigger Mike, do you are familiar with those vampire series or movies where the vampire he doesn't want to drink the blood of woman, so he has to have a little meal every 3 months so he can return to his sanity and go about his business, and then every 3 months he actually does. That's what men are going to do when they lose their faith on woman. They are focusing on their hobbies, on their job. They are going to play basketball. They are going to go fishing. They are going to play PlayStation. They are going to be on these panels. They are going to get one little meal every 3 months so they can actually function correctly. And they're going to ride back on the streets.
Spoken like
That's
a true basement dweller.
wait. Why are
Nah,
you
that's
wait,
good.
one second. Why are you shaming men into actually focusing on their life instead of going around chasing women?
I wasn't shaming anybody. That was directed towards you
No,
specifically.
you said smoking like a basement dweller, right? Why are you
I said
shaming me?
spoken like
No,
a true basement
okay,
dweller.
and I'm asking you, lady, why are you shaming me into actually pursuing my job, my dreams, and my whatever hobbies that I have instead of actually pursuing women? Why is that wrong?
It's not wrong. Feel free. Live your life, man.
So if it's not wrong, shut the fuck up.
I'm mad
Oh,
because
okay.
wait,
Because
this is what I'm mad
the
about.
point is that your
No, there's
description
no
says that
point.
women
If there's
only
no
offer.
wrong,
There's no
if
point. Yeah,
there's
there is
no
a
wrong,
point. But if you
no,
shut up,
if
somebody
there's
could
no
say it.
wrong in that, shut the fuck up and follow your rules. I'm not shaming you into doing what I want you to do. Yeah, you're not a basement dweller to me. You are a business woman and you are a powerful woman. Did I shame you when you said that? So keep doing what you're doing. We are going to do what you do, and there's not a overweight lady with fucking red hair that is going to tell me I'm a basement dweller. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, he's shooting.
Hey, can I answer the question?
Wait.
Can
I
I get
just
a
want to
chance
say
to
one thing real quick. One sentence. I'm mad at y'all because y'all made me agree with like 80% of the stuff Fatty said today. Except for that one line I ain't go with. Fatty been on point. Shout out to you, Fatty, man. You doing all right today, man. You doing the Lord's work today.
And
Hey,
this nigga laying down. Isn't that some shit? He's just sitting there.
I'm laying on my bed.
I'm about to
Hey,
say, these are pillow thoughts.
Hey, that default, stop talking like a basement dweller, bro.
No, here's the thing, man. Men can entertain themselves without women. All the women's entertainment is revolved around men. So the whole thing is, my dad said this a long time ago, and I found
Based on what?
Based on life. Every time y'all saying y'all doing me, y'all doing D's. Every time y'all take an out-of-town trip, y'all trying to do D's. Every time y'all get together, y'all either searching for D or talking about the D that y'all got because men ain't shit. Men can go bowling, play PlayStation, whatever. We could talk about this because of the topics that we talk about on the show is female related, but we can live our whole lives in the backyard grilling music, playing Isley Brother old tunes, cracking jokes about what happened in 1998, and I had no stress.
We definitely are.
Okay, keep telling yourself that.
Do you know why he's right though? Because
That's facts.
unfortunately, someone asked me once, is like, what do you find interesting about women outside of having sex with them? And I froze. I was like, oh well.
Hard to answer.
Mike, we did that on Fight Club a couple of months ago when all women are awesome, and I say, hey, bro, bring your best, like bring the woman that you really enjoy having next to you. Take her vagina and take her ass. What? Do you still want to be with her? Oh, she still has her mouth. Okay, thank you. Prove my point. Like you are proving our point. You literally like replace something sexual with something sexual. So you're proving our point. Men actually they enjoy the company of woman because there's always the threat of sex, there's always the threat of intimacy, there's always the threat of actually you being attracted with her. You take that shit from them, and without the respect for most women, not all women, because there are some women that are funny and they are like fun to be around. But if you take the sex, most men are going to choose their PlayStation 5 instead of actually a woman.
Hold on for a second, though, everybody.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
shit!
Here we go.
You can't argue with a PlayStation 5.
Let me just say something. I don't disagree with what Fatty's saying, but the point is, even if it's only sex, that's a big fucking part of our lives. What the fuck are you guys talking about? We'll go crazy. Wait a minute, man.
Different
you guys saying
demographics.
that you're gonna be comfortable without having a lady around once in a while to stroke? Get the fuck out of here.
Arpain, you doing it? You doing it, Arpain? You doing it, Arpain?
You guys have been talking all of this shit, man.
Hey, bye.
Arpain, you doing it? We just.
Are you men gonna stand on this panel and say, even if it's just for some pussy, we don't want a woman around?
You weren't listening.
Arpain, you doing it?
You weren't listening.
But this is what he do, Trigger. He take half of the story and he run off with it. We only want sex. And we still go down the rabbit hole with these women and end up fucked up. That's the part Arpain be missing.
Hey guys,
that's the part Arpain be missing, and that would make you want to get on his ass. He ain't never been to battlefield. He already admit the gangs told him stay his ass on the fucking sidewalk, and he always got some shit to say.
You really disappointed me today, Mr. Payne.
Oh shit!
Oh. Mr. Payne, they're telling you the truth. They're telling you the truth, Mr. Payne.
I mean, I don't wait a minute, man.
Let me cook him. Let me cook him. Let me cook him.
Around is because if they ain't giving you no ass, ain't no sense in them being around.
You didn't listen.
The truth of the matter is,
let me cook him, Fad. Let me cook him.
Yeah, go ahead, Ashley. You wasn't listening.
So that's the whole thing. You guys are just tripping, man.
You weren't listening.
Pain. Did you say that the gangs told you that you got a pass?
They didn't tell me. I got one. I knew it, man. I was down. I was there.
You know what that mean, Arpain? You know what that mean? You know what that mean, Pain? That mean you is a bystander. You a civilian. They think you handicapped. Don't nobody get a pass like that. you be sitting up here arguing with us, and we be letting your ass slide. You got a fucking pass out here. You sitting up here arguing with us, and you wouldn't have made it if you had to stay on these damn streets like us. We let your ass slide, and you sitting up here arguing with us.
Talking about the 80s and shit, man. That's been over with. Women have changed a lot. I don't care what nobody says.
Thank you, JT.
The game is still the same, bro. We live in this dating game, and we telling y'all it's not the same. Are there some principles that's the same? Yeah, here and there, but it's not the same. Especially
you been married since the Temptations broke up, and you sitting up here arguing with us about life. Boy, if you don't get your ass out.
Go ahead, man. You gonna tell me some of that, goddamn lion shit, man? You gotta fucking, go ahead.
Wait, what?
I got. You talking about Eganay? You talking about Eganay?
The women get worse every generation. Every generation they get worse. They're not the same.
But you guys can't sit here and tell me that you're gonna live without
But Pain.
There's a lot of guys that live without women. They call incels, man. They out there.
Yeah. Look how they're getting treated. I mean, listen, man. You know, nobody. Are you guys now professing the love of
Nah,
incels?
fine. Guys, one second. Fine. 1 second. Fine. You weren't listening. I literally used the analogy of the vampire. Every 3 months, you have to have a bite here and there so you can satiate your thirst, and you'll go about your business. I'm not saying to leave women alone. I'm saying if you actually don't see eye to eye with them, use them recreationally here and there with the woman that is actually willing to do it, and then go right back to your business.
Okay. The question on the floor. The question on the floor was, where will women go? We can already see what's happening to women.
No, that wasn't the question. The question is, what would men do if they weren't
see what's
interested in
happening
women?
to women
That's what the
when men
question
get
was.
disinterested. They start getting beyond themselves, right? They're lonely. They're doing a lot of dumb shit. The rise of lesbianism, all that kind of shit. So that they need men. They just don't want to admit it. But what I won't do is say that men haven't been slaves to the sexual marketplace. We have been, and some of us
And the
take
question
ourselves
is, what
out
would
of it,
happen if men
and some
weren't?
of us haven't.
You're right. The question was, what would happen if men were no longer slaves to the sexual marketplace? What would happen to OnlyFans, Instagram, all these people out here trying to get free meals, got lunch date in their phone instead of your name? What would happen to them?
Science fiction would happen because they ain't losing money on there.
Hey guys, can you basement dwellers let Lenny give her final thoughts, because Trigger Mike has to go.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Trigger Mike, yeah. I didn't even know it, but now I do.
Go ahead, man.
First.
Sorry, I'm with a client. I can't right now.
Oh shit! It's your professional.
First, so I can get up out of here. Hey, all right. So look, here's my final thoughts. I don't believe there's a gender war, but what I will say is that both sides have been keeping score. It's like a big game that has no end. There's no fourth quarter. There's no end of the game. Every time something happens, there's either women score a point or men score a point, and all women and men are doing is just keeping score on one another, and that's always how it's been. It's just women have been keeping score a lot longer than men have.
That's not the problem. The problem is girls can't count.
I got to disagree with Quan on that, because when women score a point, they use manipulation to score a point. Men go out here and they do what they have to. Women, shit going great, but can we just try it my way? They try to guilt trip you into shit. That's manipulation. That's why I'm rebutting Dirty Folk. He said, what did he say? He said, women don't accept authority and rules, but they'll call a nigga to come and counterfeit reenact to interfere. That's manipulation. Okay, what'd you say, Dirty Folks? What'd you say, Dirty Folks?
Longer than we had.
No, what I said was, and I accepted Trigger Mark. What I said was that, you know what I'm saying, guys are smarter. Trigger Mike said that women have better. He thinks smart is memorization.
No, about the rules, Dirty Folks. When you say a man make rules, you said women.
No, I said that women follow rules, but men don't enforce them. That's what I said.
And you said when men do enforce them, what do they do, Dirty Folks?
Oh, they become fight promoters.
So that's manipulation. So they scoring a point, but they use a manipulation to score that point.
But when they win, two other guys got to lose. So now
exactly. So but they not winning straight up. They use a manipulation. So they got help. Okay. That's as long as we on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Women can only do what men allow.
Who called me Trigger Mark? Who called me Trigger Mark?
Call him Trigger Mike.
What I
Trigger
see
Michael,
is,
please.
That nigga named Quincy Pearson.
I agree with what everybody just said. Men and women are keeping score, but I think what's happening right now is it's crunch time, and women are seeing that they're starting to lose. So you're seeing them do. You're starting to see more and more crazier stuff each day from men and women. Kind of like in the fourth quarter, last 30 seconds.
You think there's the Hail Mary? Let me reply real quick, right? This is why I think this is not about winning or losing. Women don't see getting married and having kids as winning anymore. They look at freedom as winning. They look at I can do whatever I want as dreaming. They look at I can push away my kids and my marriage or wherever. Like they actually think that being free and going to Miami and having girls parties and like enjoying their work even though they don't is winning. So
in their 20s though.
no,
That's
but
in their
no, but
20s.
that's my point. They are
They
not
early
looking
life.
at a marriage as winning. They are looking at marriage and kids as a retirement plan. There's not winning for them. Is a consolation pride, knowing that they can be fucking or partying all their life. And let's make this clear. If women could have kids until 50, that's exactly what they will do. So we have to be honest about the fact that what we consider as winning, we're talking a lot of times about the societal point. What is good for society?
Right.
Women don't give a fuck about society. They give a fuck about themselves. They barely give a fuck about their friends, and they're going to do what's best for them. So let's be honest about these winning and losing shit. This is on our point of view. Most of them will suffer in silence and consider the shit winning because they can drink a bottle of wine every night and fall asleep to some bullshit podcast. So it is what it is. Mike, thank you for having me. I see you.
Like,
Thank you for
drinking, bro. You did good today.
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate you guys. See you later, guys.
No, hey, Fatty, you
Fede.
on tonight or what? You on
Oh
tonight?
yeah. I'm on tonight. I'm going to talk with the chick, the Angela White, that was on SOS, and she was on whatever podcast or something like that. I'm going to actually have a
What time?
conversation with her
What
in
time?
3 hours. Is 8 or
3
9?
hours.
Yeah, 9
We
Eastern.
can come through, Fatty.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate you, Mike. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, my man.
Anytime.
Hey
Y'all
guys,
check out Fatty
hey,
tonight.
Dirty Folks Ashton, not 90s, of course. A Kenny Power Up team. Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys later.
I'll see you soon, bro.
Michael Richardson says $2. Our pain, they are incels. Period. All right, I got to get out of here, Mike.
Hey, give him his money back, Trigger. Give Michael Richardson his money back. I'm tired of him.
All right, man.
Hello, $12.
I will catch y'all next time. This was dope. As y'all can see, the gender war continues and people had dope opinions about it. But I'm taking my family to Jimmy Changa's because I guess they want some Tex-Mex. So we about to do that, man. Thank y'all for sending all your super chats through. Thank y'all for supporting the show. We'll catch you on Monday. Or maybe I'll do a show Monday because next week I got an audit at work and I got to be in the office. So, all right, y'all, we out. Everybody, y'all be good this weekend, man. Y'all be good. Y'all might catch me in the Houston streets. My cousin is in town, so yeah, I might be out here. I'm not gonna say nothing stupid like acting bad. I'm a good boy. Y'all already know that, but y'all take care. We out.